Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers. It's Monday, it's 1 p.m. Holy mackerel, we're back. We're trucking into Monday with our wieners in our hands, as always. Sometimes a twin stick wiener, but hey, who am I to say anything about that? Holy mackerel, what's going on out there? Where are those masks that you're getting made? How about that? Where are they being made? Does anybody have any? I've seen a pack on another driver's YouTube, but didn't say where they were made. Are they made here? People in heavy haul, you know what? They're still hauling. Maybe time to consider heavy haul. Maybe not. Okay, road log ELD, if anybody has that, guess what? You're not going to have it for long. They closed. They said because of market conditions and everything, they're closing. Okay, so loads are up 6%. Yay, we are turning the corner. We're turning the corner on it, okay? And I have some stock news as always. I love to follow some of the great stocks out there. So let's keep that in mind. This week first was Fleet Nav Systems was first the other day. On Thursday, they made it in first. So I appreciate that, Fleet Nav Systems. And let's see, Bill was second. And Ryan O today, where am I? I'm all lost. Ryan O was first today. Okay. So I'm losing my spot already. That's not a good sign. Today, I want to say hello to everybody. DA is here. King Bob made it in today. I appreciate it. Misty, what's going on out there today? Aviator or Truckers here. James Faust, it's good to see you today. So let's see, where am I at here? I'm losing my spot already. That's not great. Al Johns is here. Thank you for being here. Yeah, there's a question here about Corona and being fired. I thought that was interesting as well. Big Nate Jobber, right, said that you're unable to work. Were you diagnosed with that from a doctor? So let's ask that. Eddie is here. Eddie McFadden's here on Costco. Yeah, and I don't know that the answer will change. I'm just curious if you've been diagnosed. Alexandra's here. How'd you get a week off? It is slowing down a little bit out there for everybody. It's kind of cooling off, but then the rates are going to come back up here. So that's really good. Dave Johnson is here. Yeah, no doubt about it. Right. Preacher Paul, good morning, everybody. Paul Vines, good afternoon. Columbia George, hello there. Michael Cole, everyone from sunny. I know it's sunny here too. Goodlettville, Tennessee. It's going to be a wonderful day. As always, Lucas, hello there. Grim Reaper from Georgia. What's to talk about a strike? Yeah, what's the deal with the strike? What's going on? People want to talk to me about it? Let's talk about it. Is it a good idea? Would it help? Do you think the rates will go up? Jeffrey Herring, good afternoon. It's good to see you. I'm sorry I missed you last week out there, but I do see you today. Kelly, good morning from the city of industry. Wow, nice. Other side of the country. Red Monkey Trucking, what's happening? Things are great at GP Transco. That is good to hear as always. Let's get that going here. So my clicky for GP Transco, right? You need a job. You want to be treated like a regular professional and not like some schmo, or I call GP Transco. And of course, Fleet Nav Systems was first, and I see them in the chat today. So new slide there. They're live on Tuesday and Friday at 3 p.m. They have a call-in show, and they will take your call on Tuesdays. So please go over there and call them. It is a lot of fun. So there we go with that. And let's see, clicking. All right, I'm at home in Westfield, Indiana today. Alexandra, yeah, how did they give you a whole week off? What's going up with that? And is it a paid week off? A week's a week, though. Stay mad. Are truck drivers getting some type of stimulus? Yeah, we're at the end of the stick. Well, you'd get the same $1,200, right? Truck drivers get that as everybody else, right? So all adults, $1,200, and if you filed to your taxes with kids, you get $500 more. Right? I don't have any kids in the house anymore, but that's what some of the other drivers here are telling me. So, because one driver, I get $3,900. So, yeah, you would get that at least, right? And this other $13,000 that they talked about giving drivers and heroes, this hero, that kind of, I haven't heard anything about it. Suddenly they floated it out there and then it just floated away. Kind of like those, what are those, they call those Chinese lanterns where they put a candle in a bag and it just floats away. That's what happened with this. It just floated away, I think, somewhere. Haven't heard any more about it. So good afternoon, Dana. We're parking on the highway. I hope not. Let's keep the traffic moving. I'm all for people protesting, though. Believe me, I support protests, no problem. But not blocking traffic, not where it's unsafe. But certainly can protest. Preacher Paul's checking from Wallace, Idaho. All right, so that's great. Let's see here. Where did I go off to? From North Dakota, the Hearn family. All right. The Hearn Family and Trucking Vlogs. Good cloudy Monday. Well, hey, it could be worse, right? At least we're done with all that snow. Yikes. Philip Pillow from the Grapevine. A way station in Georgia was handing out masks to drivers. Yeah, did you get one? Did anybody get one? And where are they made? I'm just curious. Are they made in China? Or are they made somewhere outside the United States? I've always thought this, by the way. Anything the government buys with taxpayer dollars should be made in the United States. And that should go from any country. They should always buy products made in their own country. It stimulates their own economy that way, okay? Elias, hello from Greenville. Warren, good afternoon. Imperial Sink. Hey, drivers, what's happening out there? What's up, Jason R. Checking in from Garden City, Kansas, waiting for a load. How long have you been there? Don't say the whole weekend. I hope not. Okay. Ralph, good afternoon. Hey, Mark, hope to hear some good info and have a good convo with fellow truck drivers. You are asked good questions. Yeah, I hope so, too. Let's get it out there, and thanks for being here today. Good afternoon, everyone. Jim Trucker. James Faust, yes, filling in today for Wild Bill. So for people new to the channel or whatever, I don't tell people who I drive for because I don't want them messing in my videos and saying, hey, you can't do this or whatever. And also, so many drivers are on YouTube, especially now with Freight Down. I love it. Recruiting for their companies, okay? I don't do that. I don't recruit for my company or anybody. And if you see other trucking companies on here, I don't get paid from them. So some drivers on YouTube, by the way, are making more from recruiting than they make from driving. I don't do any of that. Let them recruit their own drivers. I just think it keeps it better that way. So that's how it goes here. Did I get Michael Cole? You get any more people with that message I got from Western Express? No, you're the only one. So I was surprised about that. I was out for 2.5 months. I've got 10 days off banked. Oh, okay, right. So you're using your time, and at least they're giving it to you. And miles might not be a bad time. You're right, right in between when it's about to pick back up again. Because I'm seeing from DAT that there's loads now picking up, especially in refrigerated, but across the board because produce is coming online now. So loads are going to start picking up. People will head back over and to do that. And so this is a good time to take some time off. Michael Clark, enjoy the live show. Thank you very much. Solitary Soldier, hello. Hope all is well. It's going super great. Fleet Nav, where's Mark's got him? Computer, hello computer. I'm right here. Am I not here? I see myself on the screen there. Okay. Tired of hearing drivers complaining? Yeah, that's true. Greetings from Beach Band, Los Angeles. Hey, go to the beach. They can't arrest everybody, okay? We're about sick of this here. Some churches are opening and stuff here, and look, the Constitution, you cannot ban people from going to church, so I don't care what they say about it. Just go out and do stuff. I'm about sick of these governors. They all ought to be arrested. Michael Cole got 3,900. Okay, so you're working. Since I'm working in bills up to date, spend it on computers. That's good. So you had enough kids to get 3,900. That's what we had another driver get. All drivers will get that. It doesn't matter that you're a driver or not. So at least 1,200 a head right in there for adults and 500 a kid. Big Nate Jobber, okay, this was interesting. I called the doctor's office. You think you have it, and went over the symptoms. They gave me a letter and have to be home for 2 weeks. Right, because they think without a test, here's the thing, without a test, you don't know if you have it. And if you haven't been at your company a year, you don't qualify under family medical leave. You have to be there a year. So if you're there less than a year, they can just fire you for no reason. You can't take off family medical leave. That'd be the only way to take off. Does that stink? Yeah, that does stink. So that's a real problem. I got my foot-long roller wiener. That's awesome. Where'd you find a foot-long at? Yikes. Need big buns to stick that in. And I cannot lie about that. So rolling through Flagstaff, I just passed Meteor Crater. Was able to get diesel at Fire Lake in Oklahoma for $1.31. Wow. Seems like more way stations than Bears compared. I know, because they're all getting back out there now. We had a good couple months. The May 15th, the hours of service exemption ends May 15th for everybody that's running this freight, essential freight right now. And I don't think they're going to extend it. We'll see what happens. Roger, afternoon from Tennessee. Hello there. I'm checking in from Bay Area. Dustin, good. Here's the president is here today. I appreciate you being here. Mr. President, George H.W. Bush, it is always good to see you. Fleet Nav does the live stream Tuesday at 3. Right, and they call in. I love it. FBI memos found. No, right, the FBI memo does mention where I work. I'm trying to get it sealed up. Solitary Soldier got masks in Montana. Oh, they're made in USA. Good. I wondered about where they were made. That's great. All the government should always buy things made in the United States. Trucking is a good in the small company, semi-local scene. It depends where you are, right? Some small companies I'm reading about are going broke too. So, and Celadon is back in the news. I just heard that late breaking before the show. Celadon, unbelievably, is going to be back in the news. Kellyanne, off-duty EMT at Walmart gave you one so you could go shopping. Mask required in LA County indoors. Nice. They're recommended here. So, they're recommended, required. I love it. Or what happens? Will they arrest you? I hate to say it, but your Sunday is right on the spot. We have to find a way to regulate brokers. They do take advantage. Stay math. See, that's the problem. I don't think they're taking advantage. In a free market, there can't be anybody that's taking advantage of the rate. When they post a rate on a board, no matter what it is, 50 cents or $5 or $10, that's the rate. Take it or leave it. And these owner-uppers that are protesting, really, they're right that their solution is to leave the freight sit there. I agree. That's the only way the rate comes up. The reason it goes out at 70, 80, 90 cents or whatever is because somebody will take it. I don't even know how companies take it, even large companies. I'm seeing people sending me stuff at 80 cents a mile. How do you pay a driver 50, 60 cents, whatever they're making, plus their benefits, plus pay the truck, buy fuel, and take this load? I don't know. I don't know how anybody takes it. But if it just sat there you wouldn't have to let it sit there long, the rate's going to go up. That is a great solution. Jason R. is empty today, waiting on a flatbed load. Heard nothing more from them as I told him I was passing it to the media and a lawyer. Michael go, yeah, that's probably all you will hear from them. They don't care, though. How many truckers are taking the PUA with rates low? I've applied to all three. I haven't seen a dime. I know a lot of trucking companies haven't gotten any money. This is part of a stimulus for self-employed and for small businesses. Hopefully you'll get money. Good luck. All I can say is good luck with it. Holy mackerel. Wade, good afternoon. Like the wife's daughter is off. She works in hospitality, right? A hotel, and down southern Indiana. She's been off for like 7 weeks. Not even any unemployment yet. That's how far behind on stuff they are. So, good morning from sunny California, day cab. Yes, California. Well, but I mean, the people there elect everyone that's in office. That's the solution, right? Thanks to our nanny state, the governor in Alabama, I had to get a black market haircut. I know. I'm about to do the same thing, although they're opening on Monday, a week from today. I felt like I was making a drug deal. I know. So all this does is push people into literally the black market of hair cutting, which is incredible. How much is a black market haircut? Is there like an extra cost? And if you saw that chicken hauler in Texas, this was in the news, they did a sting for just that. The police set up a sting to bust people doing haircuts. That's what we've come to. They're busting people doing haircuts. Are we really? In New York, you're required to wear a mask. I don't have one. Went in anyway. They looked at me like I was an alien. But half the people were not wearing one. Trucker Hershey. Yeah, you walk around and people look at you like you're a leper now. That's what they've done. They've gotten each of us against each other. James Faust, we need to know what brokers are making off each load. Yeah, it's the only industry where people want to know what the middleman is making off of it. When you, nobody liked my TV thing, so maybe as a sub I like this example better. So a contractor hires me as a sub on a deal, and I'm a painter, say, which I'm not, okay? But I'm a painter, and he says, all right, this deal we got here, I'm giving you $2,000 to do all these things, and he writes it down, and I agree to it. Okay, that's it. I don't get to go, well, what do you make on this? Okay, I guess I could. And he can say, I'm not telling you what I make on it. It doesn't matter what he makes on it. What it matters is, what do you make on it? That's what I say. Is that $2,000 enough? I go, all right, my costs are this or that or whatever. That's it. That's all that should matter. It doesn't, maybe he's got 6 more people. He's a sub too, and there's 6 more people along the line. It doesn't matter. All that matters is what's going in your pocket for what you're doing. That's all you should care about. Even with testing, he'll most likely count against the number of cases. Yes, blocking traffic only will make other people. Well, look, blocking traffic is illegal, and even in a protest, you can't block traffic. Some guys were going the speed limit, okay, but then there were these 10-mile-an-hour things. Don't do that, please. That is so unsafe. Do you think the public is going to be on your side? They're all out of work too. Half of them are going just to the food stamp office. There was a little more than a mile-long line here at Food Finders of cars with their trunks open waiting to get food. Okay, you're not going to get a lot of sympathy being blocked with the little bit of gas that some people have. I mean, it's not a great way to do it. You're scared of Bigfoot? You're still scared of Bigfoot. Yeah, because he's always out of focus. That's what makes him so scary. He's like a monster, but you can't really see him because he's not really in focus. That's the worst part of it. Your neighbors are watching. I know. They're going to say, oh, Mark got a haircut. How's that going to happen? It could be worse if we not care what they do in the UK. George Wilson, good afternoon. Steel Horse, what is up with Gallup, New Mexico? I know that. Steel Horse, the mayor, right? I think the mayor there, somebody out in Gallup, closed the whole town for 3 days under some kind of riot control act. Everybody's got to be off the streets. They blocked the streets, truck stops. Holy mackerel, because they had some cases. As the country opens up, there's going to be more cases. There are. That's as it rolls along for the next couple of years until 70 or 80% of us get it. Some of us might die from it. That's just what's going to happen. We have to accept that. You can't lock a city down because it doesn't just go away because everybody sits in their house. I don't like it. And locking people in their house that haven't done anything, what the heck is up with that? Michael Derek Leathers, nice name. I love that name. It sounds like a radio host or something, or a DJ. The CEO of Wiener reported that a loss of 23% of business, and it's still strong, and he took a pay cut. Good. You know, some of the people at FedEx did that too. I love it when the top takes a cut, and rather than just asking everybody to it. That's really good. And Universal also, Universal Trucking said their freight is down too, so a lot of people are reporting their numbers now. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Roadrunner 223 this week. I love it. Welcome to the Soviet States of America. You get no haircut unless we say so. It's crazy. You can't get a haircut? This is not America. What is going on? Most drivers don't know how to properly run a business. Ask 10 what their operating costs are and you get 35 answers. That's true. The drivers, any driver that's protesting better know all their operating costs and everything. And the problem also is, okay, it's been a month or so that the rates are down, maybe less. They always say to people, you should have 3 to 6 months of income saved. Why don't businesses have 3 to 6 months of income saved as well? It should be the same thing. They actually should be able to say, all right, we're going to take off a month and sit at our house and see how you like that. And if they would have all done that a month ago when the rates were higher, you might have a different story now. But they should always have money set aside. I mean, you never know what happens. Brokers are under contract bid lane because the volume is reduced. They're still making the same rate. Okay. I mean, all that matters is what are you getting? What does the truck get? 80 cents? Oh, no, thank you. That should be the answer, right? Value is always what someone is willing to pay, right? There's tons of people, oh, there should be a minimum or whatever. Who sets that? You want the government to set a minimum rate? Okay, $1.25. Is that okay? No, I'm sure not, right? Who decides that? No way. Not in a free market. Nobody wanted a maximum rate set in March. I didn't hear people writing to me, Mark, I'm making too much money. You never hear that. You don't hear that side of it. Saw on Facebook, sign it, and said it can't be any worse than this. Next picture was killer hornets. I know. Now there's killer murder. They called them murder hornets. I thought, oh my gosh, what next? Now hornets are going to kill us. It's not anyone's business how much money someone makes. Red Monkey Trucking. Yeah, look, here's the thing about being a company driver. This is a good example of it. When rates were really high, I assume the company, my company, many of your companies, made a lot of money because we don't get just an automatic raise. Now that rates are low, they may lose money. That's their problem. As a company driver, I still get the same money. So that's their problem. But when rates are $4.50, I'm sure they rolled in the cash. Either way, it's none of my problem. All they do is say, here's what we're going to pay you. Do you accept that? That's it. That's May. June is going to be fires again. Oh, wonderful. Each month it's going to be some kind of, like once pestilence and all this come out of the Bible. How are the rates this week, Mark? Well, I don't have any rates other than this Denver to Chicago, which was $1.05. Oh, $1.05. But the loads on the board are 6% increase from last week, which is great. It hasn't affected the rates yet because there's still so much capacity, but the loads are going up now. Rather than on the downside, they're coming back up. Everybody that can hang on a few more weeks, rates are going to start coming up because produce is coming in, they said. Let's not let the government control the rates. They'll mess everything up. Yeah, the government is the reason that we're like this. And now you want the government to give you a rate? I don't think so. I would only support some kind of subsidy now because it's the government doing this. That's the only reason that it's low is because the government interfered. But once you get into all this, holy mackerel. Welcome to the Soviet States, right where... Oh, good afternoon. GP Transco's here. Thank you for coming in today. It's good to see you. There's some information about GP Transco. Head over there with the slide, the fancy slide. How about that? I fancied him up. Jody at Wainwright Trucking, sold truck and flatbed to son. He's working hard out of Pittsburgh. Is he making money? I do have some flatbedders on here that do okay. Road check was scheduled for this week previously. Is it still postponed? Dave Johnson, yes, it's postponed, and there has been no information as to when they will reschedule it. They did comment. They said to make sure to understand that it is not canceled. So, but they would let everybody know when it's going to be rescheduled. I'm going to say after July 4th. That's what I think. Anthony, as long as the country has so many European and foreign owner operators, for pennies, the brokers will keep doing it. I don't know. I don't see it like kind of a racist thing like that. I mean, each truck needs a certain amount of money. Some are more efficient than others. It isn't, why would a European just only need less money to haul freight? I don't know. It's anybody that takes a low price, a large company or whatever, holds the rate down. It's the same as a company. When people work at Western for 27 cents, I can't get a raise as easily because people are willing to work for, a third or a half of what they should be making. So it doesn't do anybody any good. Kitty, hello from Texas. Is the government training us for things to come? Oh, absolutely. We fell right in line too, didn't we? Everybody's inside. You go outside now. Oh, I was by the mall the other day. There's nobody out there. Right. Love it. Don't haul the cheap freight. If you can't afford to haul it, then don't do it. That and the 1099 drivers, they're not doing anybody any good either. And all those companies should be closed. That I agree with. Wainwright Trucking, $260 a mile. Oh, fine then. So the flatbed, that's the other thing it was saying is flatbeds were still doing okay too. $260, not bad. You can still make, so you mean it's possible to make money in this economy? But wait a minute, people are protesting. People should maybe look to a different segment, because I had this written down here too, because I was looking at this. These munitions haulers and specialized heavy haulers, they're still doing tons of, high rate freight. So maybe look to a different segment of the industry for a while. Kitty, is trucking about to become a dying job? No way. There's 300 and however many million of us here, and everybody's got pent-up money. We got all this money now from the stimulus and all this stuff. I've already rented rims and everything, and I got all this extra money. So no way. It's gonna get bigger as soon as people get out of their houses. Scared of Bigfoot. From how I know it, only brokers can see what the shipper is paying to move the freight, not the carrier, unless they are the broker. I don't exactly know how that works. I will tell you that as a company driver, but wouldn't matter to me. If I own a business, like a truck, which is a business, I need to know, what do you pay, what do you give me for it? That's it. When you go get the truck fixed, that's another one. Okay, these owner-operators, you go to Freightliner, get it fixed. Do you question them on what their cost is? How much does this mechanic make? How much do you pay for this building? What is the percentage of the light bill that is being put on my bill? Of course not. Of course not. Why is it with rates and nothing else? The tire, you get tires there at the dealer. What did you guys pay for these tires? You never do that. Okay, it's ridiculous. Pilot Flying J hiring at their Premier Travel Plaza. Oh, Premier. Good pay, benefits with drivers with coming jobs could go inside and get a better gig. Yeah, that maybe you could. At 27 cents, you probably could. Alexander, I certainly don't hope we end up in the USSA. I prefer to keep it the USA, no doubt. Trucker Hershey's getting his coat in a month. That's pretty good. We all need to get together and put a stop to overpricing food at Taco Bell and other fast food restaurants. Popeyes, 5 small tenders are $18.67. I'd like to see where that is. But that's the same kind of solution as the rates, right? Because if you think that whatever, if it's 18 or however much it is, don't pay it, right? I mean, really, that's how it works at any restaurant. They have the right to charge whatever they want. Don't buy it and they'll go out of business. I don't mind them charging $18 for it. I just think you shouldn't pay it. Is it illegal to give yourself a haircut? Probably now. They'll probably say, well, you're too close to yourself. You're too close to yourself. When he does a rig move, he gets $160 an hour. So Wainwright Trucking is still making money, even in this economy. I saw Dogman. What's Dogman? Some towns in Arizona are saying no visitors. I know. Who are they to say you can't have a visitor? I don't get why people allow the government. Your rights, the government doesn't give you rights. You already have rights. The Constitution limits the government. It never limits you. It limits what the government can do to you. You already have your rights. Stop thinking like, oh, they're going to let me outside. They don't let you do anything. It's ridiculous. It's crazy how we've changed like that. I just drove through I-40. They had a fire and police blocking side streets. I know you can't do anything in Gallup. Why? Those police ought to have gone down there and arrest the mayor. How about that? That's what they should have done. If they took an oath to defend the Constitution of Arizona, they should have arrested that mayor. Or New Mexico, right? Or either one. It would really be a smack in the face to those lousy trucking companies. Yeah. Our owners have not been paid in quite some time. Hopefully this ends. Good. So they took literally a haircut on it too. It is. Loads are up 6%, GP Transco. So tell them to hang in there, and you're going to see money come back. Month or two, it's going to be back. If the food and truck stop is overpriced, don't buy it. Exactly. OOIDA gives great detail layout for basic operation costs. Yeah, I mean, as an owner-operator, certainly, even company drivers should be members of OOIDA. They are very good. They give you a whole breakdown of everything. Although one thing OOIDA does that I don't agree with, they have a line, because I've seen it in their spreadsheet, where you have a line item for fines and violations. Okay, that should not be something that you planned for. That's what I think. Well, I think I'll get 3 tickets this year. Come on. James Bowman, haircut by a Flowbee. Oh, I talked to my wife about getting a Flowbee. That's pretty funny. The government will have us working for free. Yeah, and we just do it. That's the problem, is we do it. FleetNav posted the live stream placeholder. Oh, you guys have anything that wanted to cover? What do you want FleetNav to cover? George Wilson congratulated Justin Sturgill on his F-550. What's the heck was that? The company is making things difficult today. Still like it at AAA Cooper. Every day is not roses riding unicorns, as they say, but you're still rolling, so that's still good. Roadrunner stock are 2 gallons of gas. I mean, for basically a tank of gas, you could almost buy the whole company. We're hauling 100 trucks of ethanol-free 91 from the one pipeline to another because second pipeline doesn't store it. That's 1 million gallons. Yikes. We got some 93 over there. That's what I get out of Meyer here. So bring me a tank of 93 over here. I think owner-operators should have a crew of red shirts they could sacrifice in this market. They do. All these guys that are driving all around are not hauling freight around, by the way. Keep that in mind. And they're honking at the White House. The White House didn't impose any restrictions on anything. Many governors, as I said yesterday, were mad about it. Okay, but this all is restricted from the governors. They should at least be at the governor house, wherever they live, and go over to their house and gripe at them. In a real free market, there'd be no hours of service regulations. That's interesting. That is true. And then, but there should be higher violations and that kind of thing for driving tired and getting into an accident, which there's not now. There's not enough of that. And there should be more of that. If you're tired and get in an accident, maybe you should lose your license. How about that? Driven 48. Could you do Crap Company of the Week? And I probably won't be bringing that back. Murder Hornet, since the killer bees never became a problem. Yeah, they didn't get far enough. Now, did you see the picture of this thing? It looks like it's some kind of prehistoric hornet. It's half the size of your finger, depending how big your finger is. A free market will set us all free. You guys are responsible to the government having input on minimum pay and rates. Well, I agree. I don't like minimum rates. I don't like minimum wage either. You okay driving in snow in winter months? Yeah, sure. Sure. No problem. All of us 2020 has just been bad. I wonder if the Mayans meant 2020. I know. Maybe. Not 2012 for the end of days misfit trucker. Maybe they were off by a few years since they didn't have precise things. I know, rates down, everybody's out of work, here's some killer hornets, here's a disease that you can just walk around and get. Wonderful. You can't even run behind somebody. We should arm trucks with laser guided murder hornets for the four-wheelers. That would be great if there were any out there. Yes, like Gallagher said it once, you ought to be able to shoot a flag at a car when they're stupid that sticks on their car, so we know. Rhino's going to throw some tarps. The updated trucker path include loads now loads too now for some reason. So you can see loads on Trucker Path. That's interesting. What does it say on there? Mile High is a flatbed and doing fine. I did see that flatbeds, they said, were doing the best of anybody yet because I don't know exactly why really, but flatbeds were still okay if you were in the flatbed market. Trucker Hershey saw rates $8.25 for 900 miles. Did you take that load? See, that's the thing. So 90 cents, basically, 91 cents a mile? Do you take it? No. What did the rate say the broker made? Doesn't matter. What you got to know, would you take that? No way. I don't even know how you pay company driver with that because the company driver pay plus benefits is going to eat that up. Of course, the road check isn't canceled. That's a money-making opportunity. That's true, Kenneth. Be right. They didn't cancel it, just suspended, and they made a big deal about that. It's not going away. Been doing LTL, and I've been busy the entire pandemic. Dave the Trucker, over the road, owner-operator LTL. So it depended. Some people have been off, and some people are even busier. Are you running over hours, over the hours of service at the moment? Drivers are making the rates go down. If somebody takes that $8.25 for 900, then yeah, that's not going to help anybody's rate. It needs to sit there, and I totally agree with that. It's just like the Popeye's chicken for $18. Too much, let it sit. If this is too low, let it sit there. Nobody can make money at that rate. Nobody. David, my brother's a flatbed driver and says he's busy out of Memphis. I'm in school and stuck since this. Yeah, that's true. You are, if you're in school, you're like halfway. You can't get through to anything. But flatbed does seem to be doing okay. Do you own a truck or do you run a business? No, I do not. I'm a company driver. Never wanted to get into the trucking side of it. I didn't want the risk involved. I'd rather just have them pay me, honestly, and keep all my benefits. So it's not for everybody, and it isn't for me. It's not just owning a truck. It's you own a business. I would need, Alexander would need 1,800 for 900 miles. I get 5 miles. Wow. Your truck is super efficient, but maybe if you owned a truck, you might not buy that truck. You might get one that had better fuel mileage. Eddie McFandiver, complaining, get a local or regional hourly job that pays you for everything. Eddie, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. People, the owner-operators, and a lot of people don't want to ever do anything. They don't want to change anything. Sometimes you may need to change what you're doing so your family doesn't go broke and you're living in a box. You just have to do that. Desperately need a cat break. Oh, yeah, I have new cats to show here, too, right? So, here's a tortie, right? Ah, so cute. Right, I used to have one similar to that. So, their cat break is the cats wondering what's happening to. They're talkers, believe me, tortoiseshells. So cute. Alexander will pass by that one. That's all foreigners that are protesting. No, that Mile High, no way. They there were tons of them on the news. I saw pictures. It isn't just quote foreigners, right? And we don't know, because people look like they're foreigners doesn't mean they're not, from here. My friend I went to school with, who I've known since I was 12 years old, okay? His parents came here from Romania. So, in the early 60s. But if you looked at him, you're like, oh, he's a foreigner. But he lived here his whole life. So we don't know. We can't do that kind of thing like, oh, you're a foreigner. People are here that are Americans. And a lot of these drivers were Americans. I just don't think they're on the right path with the protests. Murder Hornet would be a good old-time CB handle. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. Old-time. Nobody has a handle anymore. I understand don't buy it if it's overpriced. I think there needs to be some kind of change. It would change, Donald, if nobody bought their chicken fingers. They're like, crap, we're stuck with all these chicken fingers. It's too much money. With technology today, why are we even still using brokers? Well, because I think that, I thought about this. Some people have said that. Why don't shippers post directly? Number one, you wouldn't get any more money in the freight. They would post it for less rate. That's what they would do. That'd be the first thing. But then the shipper's got to have somebody that monitors the rate board and, the load board and all that kind of stuff. So I think they don't want to deal with it. They just hand it off. You don't need to. Many owner-operators write to me, go, oh, I have direct relationships with shippers or whatever. So you can always do that too. Johnny, car dealers buy their cars 40% under value and sell them 40% above value. That's okay. If you're willing to pay it, especially used. New, it's easier to find out, as they say, what the dealer makes. But on used, you have no idea what somebody paid for that car. They could get it at auction for half what you're paying for it. No idea. Freight rate's going to do to truckers, not cheap freight. Well, truckers take the freight at like 91 cents a mile. Pen up money. Let's spend us on new leathers for the cover band. Oh, yeah. We need them. They're wearing out. Government is our servant. Well, we should let them know that. Who's playing at the Manhole this weekend? Well, we'll be playing with our usual Village People cover band there. I'm not sure who else is coming this weekend. Of course, we cover all the best songs there at the Manhole. It's never ladies' night at the Manhole, as they say. A dogman is a cryptic creature that is not acknowledged. Oh, well, if he's not acknowledged, I mean, how does he have a name? Greetings and sunny salutations, S. Isaacs. What's happening? Fleetnab likes a new slide. Thank you very much. Worked on that Canva for all your slide needs. So I wanted to put the live show on the slide for you. So I really wish I hadn't gotten my brokerage license when I thought about it. I would offer long-term contract with fixed commissions, like 15 or 20%. Well, I thought about this too. Why don't drivers get to become their own broker? Is that possible? I don't know if that's legal. But if it is, and I thought about this, if brokers make so much money, why don't these drivers sell their truck and become a broker? Oh, these brokers make all this money. Well, go become a broker. That just seemed like the thing to do. That's Fleet Nav System, right? Live on Tuesday and Friday. What about that? Why not just become a broker? Why is that a bad idea? Because all these drivers, these brokers, they're ripping everybody off. They're making money. If you can't beat them, join them. M.G. Jackson, if the government sets a minimum freight rate, that will also be the de facto maximum. That's correct. They don't have to compete because everybody can say, well, okay, $1.25, we're all paying $1.25. Don't like this load? There's no better loads. That's correct. That's why I don't like minimum wage. You liking our familiar George Wilson with Chicago TV? Certainly. Grew up in Hammond. Back on the 73 to 75, Bill Curtis did a ride along with a long haul driver. Oh, is that on YouTube? He does, wait, no, tell me also, Bill Curtis. So, legendary anchorman, Bill Curtis. Fox News is the virus and Bruce Lee's the cure. Well, hopefully we could use Bruce Lee right now, but he's not with us. Too bad. George Costanza's here. OIDA is Prime. It's a subsidiary of Prime. Don't join OIDA. They literally do nothing but lose. Controlled opposition. How do you find that out? I mean, if I heard that they were a subsidiary of Prime, I would leave. And I will say OIDA doesn't do that much for company drivers, but I don't know a bigger organization to help drivers than OIDA at the moment. Even these protests are not congealed, and there's a 75 here and 50 guys there. It's not enough to do anything. Honestly, the income of our company drivers hardly changed. Despite it, if you drive for a carrier with a good amount of dedicated freight, you should be okay. Yes, depending on what their freight is. Like Pam said, they're down 40% because 40% of their freight was automotive. So, but yeah, that's good. And from what I'm hearing from drivers, they're still rolling there. Scared of Bigfoot. Who has a suggestion on a tire pressure system? I want to thank you for explaining the law of family leave or medical leave. I had no idea. And look at my company didn't want it. It just stinks now because I'm out of work. Big Nate. I agree. The only problem, you could do FMLA, Family Medical Leave Act, but you have to be there 12 months. And so other than that, they can fire you. It's super bad. And I'd hose them on social for that, but there's really not much else you can do. And if you're on a 14-day, you might as well stay at home 14 days. That's the problem of telling a doctor, and I'm not saying this, you shouldn't have done that, but this is what people think about then. Oh, if I tell the doctor I'm sick, I might get taken off of work. So sick people won't go to the doctor. It's not a great system. You want people that are sick to go get healthy and get well, but then they're like, I'm going to lose my job, so I'm not going to tell the doctor stuff. Same with this temperature scan things, which are stupid. The people are just going to take a Tylenol before they go to work so they don't get fired or get taken off for 2 weeks. It doesn't help people get better. The government set a rate on beef 30 years ago and it didn't work. All it did was raise the rates and butchers just changed the name of the meat. Yes, that's all that's going to happen. You can't have the government set anything and expect like it works. Look where we are now with the government program. Lumper fee should be credit towards diesel fuel, not out of the trucker's pocket. No company driver should pay a lumper fee. Okay, company drivers should have that paid by their company. Owner-operators, business owners would have to negotiate that in their contract. And they should say, look, lumper, you pay it, or $200 up front for lumper, or however what. Absolutely. Trucker Journeys, hey, you took my vacation at Smith and turned in my notice. All right. That, what did they think about that? And where are you going, if you want to tell us? A true free market, there are no bailouts and stimulus checks. That's true. The only problem with that is that the market right now is depressed because of the government. They ruin the market, send everybody home, get everybody fired or laid off, and then nobody has any money. And you can't, there's not other jobs. A lot of jobs dried up. So 2 restaurants in the same area, one at a truck stop, the overpriced, and yet the same restaurant across the street is 30% cheaper. That does not make sense. Same restaurants, 2 prices for the same food. It makes perfect sense in a free market that they both charge whatever they want. And you should go to the one that's less and tell the other one, hey, I'm going over there because it's less money. And they would have no choice but to compete and lower their prices. All right, trucking journeys. You're down at Texas at Poly Trucking. All right, so my question's answered. 56 cents a mile paid by the hub. That's so unusual. And a load board for company. Hauling their own products. I'll keep you in the loop. All right, well, let me know how that goes. Wow, 56 cents hub is pretty good. That's worth something. That would be worth something right there. Where did I go off to here? I've lost my spot. Okay, just cruising through Los Angeles, Van Pris. All right. The hotel is nice at 150. Trucking journeys. Yeah, a good motel's, C note a night or more. Oh, speaking of hotels, right? So Gatz is canceled. But the trucking jamborees July 9 to 11 in Walcott still on. Is anybody coming to the trucking jamboree? So, because I was looking up hotels, ironically, not too long before the show for that. So should be there on the 11th if they stay open. Restaurants can charge what they want. Exactly. GP transfer, you're right. I was at Smith for the last year and quit last week, getting $3,200 for the last 4 months. Well, that's great. Why would you? Why would you quit that? That's a good question. If states were shutting down companies from price gouging, would they do the same to shippers or receivers? And I don't think can be price gouging on anything. A person can charge whatever they want for a product or service, including a black market haircut. I'm really surprised flatbeds are still good. So was I, since automakers don't need coils. Maybe a few automakers starting back. Mercedes, who started, and Hyundai. I just read about that, are rolling in the South. They started, I guess today, right? The 4th? I looked over there, even though it's not a calendar there, so that's really good. If the drivers are too lazy to work across the street, then you pay what you pay. There's no excuse a company can give me for miles below $2,500 a week that I accept. It's either something out of their hands, like a breakdown, or something they messed up. Well, you were doing good there, $3,200. Quarantine is not great, I know. Flatbed is doing great, but Maverick is cutting pay. Yeah, I don't understand Maverick. I don't know where they're headed off to. Are they like, we just think we've been a good company too long. Let's ruin our place. Donald walked across the street. That's what you should do. Quarantine is supposed to be for sick people. Right, not everybody. We don't quarantine everybody. Outside, that's where the UV light kills all the germs. Trucking Jargon has a tortoise shell, and they love to talk. I know our tortie, she talked all the time. They're very, very vocal. Jody, steel is still good. Yeah, flatbed's still doing good. Michael called your stepmother has COPD and restricted to her house until it's over. I agree that people that have a problem should stay home. Totally agree with that. But nobody should be forced to stay home by the government when they don't have anything wrong with them. If they want to go out, they go out. Musafar is here, cute cat. Oh, I used to work for a tortie rescue. Oh, that'd be great. I used to work for a little tortie rescue kitty named Zoe. Oh, she never shut up. Looked like seeing the cat after swallowing a football. I know. They talk a lot. You want a talking cat? That's the one to get. My ragdoll talks when she wants to play. Oh, that's pretty good too. You don't see too many ragdoll cats around. Brokers won't go away totally in the future. I think this though, if brokers went away, the shipper would just post a load for less money because they don't have to pay the broker. The shipper is going to want to save that money. They're not going to give it to the driver. Drivers think like, oh, get rid of the brokers. No. Then that $1,800 load that the shipper gave the broker, that the broker posted for $1,200, the shipper posts for $1,200. And they go, oh, look at all this money we're saving. So I don't think so. Scared of big. I look like a Russian, but still following the channel because you never know. Somebody's got to keep an eye on me. If someone will take a load for $1.50, then you should not be able to take it for $2. Oh, that's very good. How about that? How about say no to expensive freight? Everybody has to make the same. Everybody is even. That's the problem. Nobody teaches anymore that not everything's fair, and some people make more, some make less. There are guys at the protests. Some of them, had Sentries or whatever getting 8 miles a gallon probably, and then there were some long nose trucks getting 5. Well, they both need a different rate. So, but is that fair? Yeah, it's fair. OIDA does say no to cheap freight. I agree. That's the only way the rate comes up is by not taking it. See a modern day civil war brewing, but it's us against the government this time. Us, and they're trying to make us fight each other. So because they want it off of them, but it's us against them. Yeah, who restricted your mom to her house? Really? You said she's restricted. Is she restricting herself, which is okay with me? Michael, would you take a female hitchhiker from Little Rock to Virginia with you in the truck, even if she was really cute? No, I'm not picking up hitchhikers. No, that's the beginning of a murder movie. Isn't getting your own authority being your own broker? Don't people with authority deal with brokers? See, I'm not on that side of it where that intricate with it. But even if you have authority, don't you go on load boards? I guess, but you can still go get your own freight. I know tons of people write to me and do it, that you can deal directly with a shipper. Donovan, the state of Texas is open. Good. They should all be open. They are really open. Just go out and do whatever you want. Dave, the truckers at Roadrunner, the only reason we're still running is because of Amazon. Yeah. Roadrunner, right, $223. It was $700 a few years ago. Nice. Jody, your handle is Freedom Fighter. We all need that kind of handle. Well, from the CO2 world, Mark, Canadian Tanker Yanker. How is that going? Hospitals and stuff. So that's what I'm thinking. Is compressed gas doing good? Preacher Paul, sorry, junk signal and panhandle of Idaho. Yikes. No, it's not the time for protest and strike, but for us to look good, to worry about serving our country. Yeah, Sean, I'll tell you, I don't know. The government like to put it out there like everybody's a hero, serving their country or whatever. I don't know. It's not. They make it a patriotic thing so people will do it. So and just shut up about it. So we don't realize what the government is doing to us in the background. That's what I think about it. People, do their job, but I don't think a protest is going to work just because most of the public are out of work and they're not going to be that on our side about it. Your company requires us to use lumpers and they pay the lumper fee. MG Jackson. Okay, yeah, good. Steel Horse, you're still working 70 hours a week. Yeah, so it didn't slow down. Some places are starting to restrict meat purchases too. So is that going to affect you at all? Jason Arm Park near a Tyson plant. Seemed pretty busy. A lot of livestock going in and reefers coming out. Oh, yikes there. Is it just like the cartoon? They're walking in this side and the trucks are driving out that side? Smith was actually really cool about it and they kept me running hard into your last day. That's good. Coming back whenever I want. I wouldn't offer me more money. 26, Okay, let me know how it goes at the new place. What if you don't get paid for detention? NT, you shouldn't work there. That's what I've always maintained. Your time should be paid. Paid. Okay? Detention pays. Period. If you don't get paid, don't work there. It isn't that go to the government and make them pay you. How about quit? If everybody quit at that place tomorrow, they'd have to start paying detention. I know Pam, she's always going down. Boom, bump. I pay my company's lumper fee because I'm ashamed of how much crazy money they pay me. Yikes. I'm never ashamed to let them pay fees. I get paid advances via comp checks to pay the lumper, and then it gets taken out of my check. Steven, yeah, but if you turn in the receipt with the bill, right, you're even on your check, correct? It shouldn't ever come out of your check. I know a lot of places do it like that, rather than paying the lumper directly. Chuck Norris doesn't get COVID, gets Chuck Norris. No doubt, right. Chuck Norris met COVID-19, and now COVID-19 is in quarantine for 2 weeks. A lot of plants are closed. I know a lot of Tyson plants, but Trump ordered them reopened. It's not even worth being out here away from family. I'm working, but sitting around waiting for hours just to get loaded. Panama Jack. That time should be paid. That's why I think road drivers should get 100. And all this kind of time should be paid. And a lot of times, if you're just sitting, not being paid anything, you might as well sit at your house and not get paid anything. The left wants socialism and control over everything. They're getting it. But the problem is people are walking into it. They're in a jail cell, but they put themselves in there and then shut the door behind them. And because they hand everybody a flag to walk in there with. I never eat at a truck stop. Jason Jefferson. I'm home every night, and my wife packs you a lunch. That's nice of her. And even when I was over the road, I cooked for myself as much as possible. Yeah, it saves a lot of money. You don't have to worry about how much wings or anything are at the truck stop, right? Big stuff. Door swinger here looking to get into RGN or double drop, but have no securement experience. Are there any training companies? I will send you over to, what? I can't think. I'll get it in a second here. It's not worth it to go home. If it's not worth it, go home. I agree. I quit because I wanted to run farther west. Oh, you don't go east of Iowa. Yeah, right. Like West Coast and Texas. I held out until you got a pay bump in the areas I wanted. Okay, yeah, well, if that's what you want, then it's time to find a place that will get you what you want. Trucking is about getting what you want, and so is success and being happy and everything else. If you get what you want, you'll be a lot more successful at it. Okay, Geeks Trucking, there it finally came to me. He's got a YouTube channel. He hauls RGNs and all that stuff, and he will take your email. Go over to Geeks Trucking right there on YouTube. I don't have a slide for him, but go over to him on YouTube. By the way, ask him about pocket watches as well. But he runs an RGN and is an owner-operator, so go check out and see what he's up to over there. COVID has been good for the gaming community. Oh, I know. Everybody's at home getting gaming, and the butter community, because by the time everybody gets out of their house, they're going to have to butter themselves out to get through the door. That's what they said. Maverick probably wished they kept the reefer division. I know. KLLM is like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. Didn't Maverick merge with another company? No, they booted out their reefers. Even if something is wrong, the government should not order them to stay home. Even if someone has some MG Jackson, that's the only time I would say, like, you have something that's so contagious, like leprosy or something like that, that they say, all right, you stay at your house. But if they do order you home, they should provide something for you, because they're ordering you to stay home where you cannot have an income. That needs to be replaced. Alexander's been building a computer. Wow. I thought they had people that do that now. I would have no idea how to do that. Maverick sold it to KLLM. Everyone doesn't deserve a trophy. That's correct. People think like that person's making money. We should never be worried like somebody else makes money and you're not making money. Go figure out how to make the money that they're making. Oh, that person's running oversized loads and makes $4 a mile. I want the government to give me $4 a mile. No, go haul oversized loads. Panama Jack, wish you would be laid off because you'd make more sitting at home like everybody else. Here in Indiana, I've talked to tons of people about this. You can make $990. It's $390 unemployment plus $900 or plus the $600. Depending what you make at work, you might make more than that. Alexander, you're glad the reefer's picking up. Folks got to eat. Yeah, and everybody that's stuck at home has got to stuff their face. So by the time you get back, it should be a little bit better than it has been. My wife and you... not my wife. I got a wild hair and drove to Tulsa from Memphis this weekend. Got to have a sit-down dinner at a restaurant. Isn't it amazing? Did you feel like a criminal? That's the problem. Why do you have to feel like a criminal? Because you go outside. Who's the government to say that? You haul a lot of... Alexander hauls sweets, ice cream, chocolate, and cocoa. Delicious. Exactly. Traffic jam. A patriotic thing. They're doing that with nurses, grocery stores, just to keep them going. Yeah, they stick a flag and go, oh, you're patriotic. And then the doctors all go make TikTok videos about it. No, your own authority doesn't give you broker authority. Broker is an entirely different license. You have to have a bond to be a broker. I looked into it to have my wife do it. What did you find out? And why didn't she do it, or are you going to do it? But could the same person do both of them as well? So you go get a different license. Could you do both ends of it at the same time? Same here at Tyson. We have to use lumpers, but they pay for it. Yeah, Tyson doesn't pay detention, though. They've been really bad about that. I don't think the shippers would drop the rate. They pay what they pay to ship the load. They're not thinking of the broker before they post their load on it. No, but they would if they eliminated that person, because then they need somebody in their office to deal with the trucking companies and stuff. They don't have to deal with them now. They just go, here's 20 loads to the broker, and that's it. Here's what they're paying. They'd have to deal with shippers and everything and negotiate. So I think the load price would come down. The only thing I disliked about Smith was that they didn't pay stop pay unless you're on a Walmart account. How many? Did you do a lot of stops? Did you have extra stops? Darnell, that's a good question, too. Evening, everyone. Evening. You did a trip from California to Nebraska. My company couldn't find a load to Memphis. So they told me to deadhead home with pay. Wow. Nice. That's pretty good. See, some companies are doing the right thing, and then some are hosing you on it. S. Isaacs, I run a reefer from Wisconsin to Florida, Tennessee, and Indiana, and back. Haven't seen the house since January. And plus, now with hours of service, you should really be rolling and making money. Marco, you passed by Lafayette Saturday. You're over there with 7 months. Congratulations. I thank my company for the opportunity. However, Why and how they allowed to pay you zip to zip code? Because they can. There's no regulation. It's the free market. So they pay you zip to zip. But as we see, there are places that pay hub miles. And I think you're a good example of, although just at 7 months, but if you feel like that isn't the proper pay, like you can get more pay if you just look around, you can get more pay, I would encourage you to do that. And then companies like this wouldn't be able to get anybody to come and work there. So it's time maybe to start looking around for another place if you don't have a contract there. Fish are getting bigger. When I get home, I slay them. Fish slayer. Yes, I've been home now for a week, going back out in the morning. All right. Companies can pay zip to zip because that's what you agreed to when you took the job. That's correct. And so at any time, you can always end your relationship with that company for that reason. Any news on that driver that killed those people in Denver last year, James Faust? No. As far as I remember, that later this year, like in the fall, the trial was supposed to start. And I don't think they're going to settle that until it gets closer to trial. They're going to kind of play chicken with each other and see who blinks first. But there's been nothing more in the news. It's basically been a lot of COVID stuff, of course, among a few other things. Oh, anybody using this road log ELD? Road log ELD, August 14th, your road log ELD is going to be shut off. So they're done. We're paid to lump our loads. If we're not allowed on the dock, the company pays the lumper and we still get $50 for delivering it. Well, do they pay you what they would pay the lumper? I always thought they should do that. I always see these companies, we'll give you $60 or we'll pay the lumper $612. So do they pay you the lumper fee on it or anything like that? Costco fleet's running 70 hours weekly with overtime and double time, Eddie. So we know who's paying for lunch for the channel. All right, we appreciate that this week. Howdy, partners. You need a PS4 for donation. All right, that would be good. Broker's job is to obtain loads for shipment. They make commissions. What is offered is the price. Do you ask your financial advisor what he makes on the funds he sells you? I agree. The load's posted on a board. $1, $2, $4, whatever. Did anybody question the broker a month ago at $4? No. I didn't get all these letters then. Mark, I want to give some of this money back. I'm just don't think it should pay more than $210. No, of course not. If you work a regular employer, you don't lose 2 or 3 hours of pay. Why would you in trucking? I agree with you. I totally agree. Why you do it in trucking? I don't know. The companies are horrible for doing it. Okay, don't get me wrong on that. They should pay people, but they don't have to, so they don't. The only reason they can get people is because they get people to do it. Like a KLLM is always a good example where it's 4 hours before they pay you detention time. Okay, so that's 4 free hours. So right there, our conversation would be over if I was going to go work there. I'd be like, no, see, I'm required to get paid for all my time because I'm an employee. And so that's how I run myself. But people do it. And so that's how they get away with it. I would recommend that you don't tolerate it anymore. And the companies are garbage for doing it. Alexander orders the parts and build it yourself. That's way beyond what I could possibly do. I was lucky to plug the microphone in. Big Trucking's here. What's up, Big Trucking? M. Hopper, do you think it's a good idea to get into trucking even this time? I know freight is low. Yes, because by the time, if you just get into trucking now, by the time you finish school, go to one of these 6 or 8 week schools that you can have the state pay for, especially now, once they open up. Indiana, they're going to be opening, here in a week or two. Get out there and get to work. There's still 300 and some million people in the United States, okay? People still have to buy everything. All these stores and everything, it's going to open back up. Trucking is going to come back. It was just a dip, a huge dip, okay? But it's coming back. People still have to have stuff. We can't just go our lives without getting stuff. We need stuff. I was making more money at workman's comp than I am right now working. That's a problem. Cassius King Trucking is here. How's it going this week for you? As self-employed, can we apply for unemployment benefits? Yeah, there's some kind of PPP program. There are some other benefit programs for self-employed people through unemployment. I don't exactly know what they are, but there are programs for self-employed people. Yes. So yes, if you're down or unemployed from your self-employment thing, you can get unemployment. GP Transco. Someone started a rumor that we're getting bought up by NFI. Really? That's completely untrue in case anyone was wondering. Oh, I didn't hear that. GP Transco bought by NFI. Maybe you should buy NFI and teach them a lesson and say, anybody else want to start a rumor? We'll buy you guys too. They'd be really good. I didn't hear that. So GP Transco not getting bought out by NFI. Who's starting that kind of rumor? I don't drive a semi, but I'm going to be here. All right. 84 Chevy C30. Nice. Headed to you'll be here adjusting your carbs. Adjusting the carb. Headed to Shamrock, Texas. Dang, summertime is here. I know. We had 80 on Saturday here, running the air inside. Michael Strazella. I love that name. Where's Richard Simmons? He's going to make a lot of money sweating off the ham. I know. Where is that guy? We're all going to need him. Where is Richard Simmons? Where is Richard Simmons, by the way? We need to look in. Somebody needs to look into that. Why doesn't the government get on that instead of closing down Gallup? If you look on the Safer web for big carrier, it'll tell you their broker authority status and carrier authority status separately. Can a driver, an owner-operator, and this is a good question for somebody, who has their own authority also be their own broker? Is that legally allowed? And I don't know if that's allowed. Al John, do you feel like an American again when you ate at the Tallies in Tulsa? I know. Well, you can't even go. I got to go in a restaurant and pop my trunk open and have them throw food in the back of my car. What the heck is that? Preacher Paul, my hazmat outfit still rolling strong. 4,100 miles last week. Wow, that's really doing good. Trucking journeys with the coronavirus recently. A bunch of big lots loads with 4 stops. Oh, do you have to hand unload 4 stops? In the same city, so no mileage. Oh, because it's the same. Yeah. So, yeah, that's not great. I don't know why they do that, because I'll tell you, I bet you they charge big lots for that stuff. So no way with that. Somebody needs to talk to him about that. Okay, Eddie McFanning, you can self-broker or load. You can do both with the appropriate licenses. All right, why don't drivers do that? Okay, so if that's legal, these drivers that are protesting, why don't they become a broker and keep the broker fee themselves? Yes, maybe. They could just broker a couple other loads for other drivers and make all this money that they complain about themselves. Before that, I had two stops a month. Yeah, there's 4 stops without pay and no mileage. That's your whole day is ruined. I'm a newcomer. I could say, welcome here. Always welcome, even with a Chevy. I don't take it away from you that you don't have a Ford. Poly Trucking has 300 trucks. Runs e-logs, but has a lot of paperwork and oddities. That's every place. Like, I picture oddities like they have like a Ripley's Museum in their lobby, but they have a bunch of bonus things and high pay. Look, I like the hub pay. I'm in for that, right? Weekly cell-phone reimbursement, $65 a week per diem. Okay, right, non-taxable. Per diem's not taken out. The only downside is we have to track the roads we use and write the mileage down. Really? Wow, welcome to 1997. Well, it's been I can't remember. I used to always have a sheet for that, but I can't remember. It's been a long time since you have to write down your miles. Why doesn't their e-log do that? Where's Fleet Nav Systems on that? Why doesn't their e-log track their mileage on that thing? Holy mackerel. That's crazy. E-log. I run a no-stop, no extra drops on your route. Yeah, that's the way to do it. I think that's the best way to do it if you can. But if you get paid, some people like stops. I used to do a ton of stops in Chicago for some strange reason. Years ago, I had a load that went Indy to Chicago and back to Indy. And so I would just park here in Lafayette. And that load, I would do 8-10 stops a day in Chicago. But it was the same stops. Each day was different. You had 5 different days. But I would do all those stops each day. And I'd just pull in. Sometimes it was just one piece. 1 pallet, sometimes it was 4 pallets, yeah. But it was doing great. I think it was 15 a stop then, years ago. And so 10 stops is 150 plus, 400 or 500 miles. 400 and some miles it paid because I had to go to the north side. Not bad. What's happening, man? Tracy and James Abernathy. Still running strong out here in Iowa and Minnesota. That's great. What would be my last meal? Ooh, that's a tough one. Ooh, maybe something... Probably White Castles. I would say double cheeseburger. White Castle double cheeseburgers and a sack of fries. Did you hear about Tyson giving another bonus? Oh, 500 in mid-May and 500 in July. I'm a local live hauler. I don't know if Over the Road gets it. No, but I griped at him for not giving this $500 until July. It's not really a bonus if you got to work there another 4 months to get it, okay? Because JB Hunt and other companies that gave bonuses were giving them right away. If you're going to give a bonus out, give the bonus out. The question of the day is, how's the CFI phone holder doing? I was disappointed. that I couldn't get another one at Matt's, and then I couldn't get one at Gat's, even though I probably wasn't going to go. We're going to see if they have one at the Trucker Jamboree. This one is still holding up really great, maybe better than the company is. GP Transco gave away a PS4 a few months ago. Is the winner here today? Maybe. I don't remember who it was. It's storming outside and you don't have anything to do. Oh, well, so you're here. Oh, I'll take it. Big Trucking, your gaming life is awesome. That's great. Headed to Ghent, Kentucky, and then to Houston. Not bad. You like, what is FFX? Where did I get off at that? I lost my spot. Online Austria, sir. I don't have any idea what that is. They pay us by the line and piece. They paid you $5.45 in one stop. The minimum is $20 for a stop, no matter the size. Wow. Your uncle is a trucker. He rocks. He hauls rock. Get it? See what I do there? The government shouldn't be subsidizing unemployment and encourage people not to look for work. Alexandra. I agree. The problem is that right now they've subsidized it and said you don't even have to look for work. And so the only reason you'd have to work is if your company calls you back and you can't get unemployment. As you know, I don't like it at all, but the government is the reason the people are unemployed. So they almost have to pay you because they're the ones that are making you be unemployed. What they should do is not interfere in the running of the country like they have and let people continue to work. Knowles, they say May Trucking might be closing its doors. Why? They've been open forever and they have a ton of drivers. And running refrigerated, why would they close? Rhino, though there's a rumor that Rhino is buying GP Transco also to expand his fleet. That would be a gigantic expansion at one time. Anyone looking for an ELD, if you use RoadLog, can reach out to Fleet Nav Systems. We got tons of training and Geotab isn't going anywhere. That's what they said on RoadLog. They're the number one telematics provider. Oh, number one telematics. The government shouldn't bail out banks. It encourages bad investment. That's true. Those people, they shouldn't bail out car companies. It's not the government to do that. If a place closes, they close. Elias, GMC Astro truck. Wow. I don't have one of those. 89 degrees in Oklahoma City, no clouds, and no lot lizards. Well, so it's sunny with no lot lizards? Well, I mean, what the heck? Alexandra, the government should have let the big banks go under. Yes, and they would do better investments. But then they don't loan out to people. Of course, they're loaning out money to people that don't have any money. I can't see Snyder. I get paid too much. Maybe I should return some of my money. Right. Maybe company drivers that get over 27 cents should return all that extra money to their company. Right. GP Transco. They thought that you were having some kind of secret discussions. He saw a reefer driver hauling his snapped off door in his trailer. That's great. The Chevy was your grandfather's truck. I'm more of a Chevy Dodge guy. Okay, look, I said, right, I don't hold that against you. That C30, I think that'd be a tough ride on the street. Being a ton suspension, but you know, hey, it's paid for, and I agree. If it's your grandfather's truck, enjoy it. 350, what's in that? 454? No, not an 84, right? 350. Hello, Mark. Gulfport, Mississippi's in the house. Hello. Perkers are required to post a $75,000 bond, which you would buy the bond, right? And they also required to provide auto insurance. It's not cost effective to sell broker as an owner operator. Okay, I didn't know. Okay, so. Well, but wait a minute, though. Okay, because you only broke in your own loads. What if you brokered other loads? Okay, or like this astute viewer here said, have your wife become a broker. Broker some other loads and your loads. You know, add it in there. Not bad. What do you think about that? When I did reefer, I used to keep the lumper money my company allowed and did the work myself, George Wilson. If they allow it, as long as it's getting lumped, they're paying it anyway. So that it's not like you're even scamming anybody. I just think I've seen companies do this where they say, if you unload a load at $75 or whatever, or we'll pay the lumper, and the lumper is like $600. Why don't you get what they're going to pay the lumper? Trucking Journeys, apparently writing the miles is for taxes, and you have to pay a Qualcomm extra for that service, so they save money, and they pay us more? Maybe. I don't know. What do you think about that, Fleet Nav? Does Geotab charge that kind of stuff for mileage tracking and IFT and all that, or no? Maybe. How much could they possibly save? Because then they got to deal with all the paperwork. Sorry for the delayed response. Yes, it ends up even on my check for lumper check, Stephen. Okay, yeah. So you pay the lumper, sort of, out of your check, turn in the receipt, and the check's even. So they're kind of taking it out of you, but not really, because it never comes out of your check. Aviator, Smith & Wesson has good-looking trucks. They let you drive the speed limit, but they frown on you if you gun the engine. Wow. I had an accident turnover truck trailer. Who's going to pay for the cargo? I have cargo coverage, but the insurance company looks like they won't pay for it. I don't know. Do we have an owner-operator to answer that kind of question? Kind of a technical insurance question. I'm not sure how that would work. And I've lost my spot again. Okay, I'm getting paid $35 for each stop after the first one plus mileage. Okay, that's pretty good anymore. I'm talking, my 15 was years ago. I use a voice recorder for state mileage. Oh, you can, do you turn the, I'm thinking tape. Do you turn the micro cassette in at the end of the week to the office, this little micro cassette? They probably don't have those anymore. Yes, a small company or owner-operator can be a broker. You just need a license. So if you had, okay, so this is very good. So you're an owner-operator. You have one truck, okay, my owner-operator trucking on the side or whatever. And you don't want to pay all these broker fees. Couldn't you have your spouse or whoever's at home become a broker, get their broker license, find you loads, right? And, do it that they find you a load, but then also they have like a home job where they find other drivers loads too, kind of being a broker on there and make the money from those loads too. Couldn't that work? And you'd be going around the brokers. I think, why doesn't that work? And if it does work, why aren't people doing it? Tyson, trucker, you're staying overnight. Yeah, but Tyson, you're not getting paid for it. That's always aggravating me about Tyson. They know they have all this waiting time and they don't pay for it. A good ELD system should alleviate most of the paperwork. I build reports in Geotab on distance calculations all the time. Yeah, so it doesn't seem like it's going to save any money when they have, I don't know how many drivers, hundreds of drivers turn in paperwork every week and they got to figure all the mileages out. Contact an attorney who specializes in cargo and she's the best in the industry. That might be a good idea too. He rocks and hauls rock, I bet. Last meal, fried chicken, garlic, mashed potatoes, and fresh corn. I don't know. I mean, come on. White Castles, they're so delicious. For you people that are on the west side of the Mississippi River, they're the best. Lumper pay shows up on the settlement as a cash advance offset by a reimbursement. Does not come out of your check. Right. Unless you don't turn the receipt in, it's not coming out of your check. It's even. They deduct it and then give it back. So you're even at the end of the week as long as you turn in the receipt. Right. Stephen Taylor, I run the night for a job. Yes, I like to do nights because of traffic and everything. So it's getting hairy keeping nights. That may not happen. I hope it does because this is probably I haven't checked, well over 100 shows in a row on Monday. So we'll see how it goes in the future here. I'll tell them about it, FleetNet, but they're a manufacturing company with a few trucks, not really a trucking company. The parent company of Poly Trucking. All right. 16 drivers are starting at GP Transco. Wow. Where are they going to stay? Can you get 16 rooms anywhere? Because you said you were spacing everybody out in that. They must have a big room to put them all in. Do you have 16 open trucks? Let's get these trucks filled with these drivers. That is going to be huge. I'm a speedo mod during the day. That's why I have to drive at night because of doing the speedo modeling and stuff, stuff I do like that. ELDs are a problem when you're exempt. 150 miles for AG work, then log, and log not running. Kentucky DOT was also confused. I can imagine that is a problem. Geotab probably has a solution for that. With federal pandemic unemployment, you qualify if you've lost income, don't have to be completely unemployed. Yes, if your income is down, like you've suffered a loss of income, but you're not laid off, I would still encourage everybody to apply. I've had people write in and say, yes, they got partial. If you even get $1, apparently, on unemployment, you also get this $600 extra stimulus to the unemployment. So you got $1 you qualify for and $600. So worth it. Worth applying. It's always worth applying. All they can do is tell you no. So it's not like, as long as you're applying and give them legit answers, all they tell you is no, worth it. We have a bunch of, where I lost my spot. We have a bunch of losing my spot. That's what. We have a bunch of non-trucking customers. We can track miles and run reports on anything. Cars, trucks, jet skis. Oh, I'd love to see a jet ski report. It's a 307. Wow, your grandfather put it in. It was originally 454. I didn't know they made that engine that late. I guess they did. Why would he put a 307 in that 1 ton? I would probably go a little bigger anyway, maybe even 400. Is your company paying you extra assist you with loading? Oh, that's a good question. Is your company paying you extra to assist with unloading, or do they pay the lumper? Well, Bill is here. I'm getting some blood work at the lady has stuck you 3 times. She went to get another type of needle. Where are all the technical professionals that draw blood? They're all busy making TikTok videos. Big Huge Mike is here. He would ask for someone else to draw blood. I'm always a little nervous, but usually I get somebody that's okay, I hope. Todd Heifel, it's 85 in Benton, Arkansas. Oh, the home to Walmart. They're called vampires. If it's a report we can build from the pre-built ones. What a disaster. Darnell runs tankers. I have to unload at most of my customers. We get paid mileage plus 50 times we fire up the pump to unload. At least there's no hand unloading, right? Charles, Western Express is the worst. Can I avoid that contract? They don't like it. I'll tell you, you don't have to work anywhere. Okay, I'm not a lawyer. Let me tell you, where's Fleet Nav Systems to put up my disclaimer? Watch the show, love the disclaimer. Okay, I'm not a lawyer, but nobody can force you to work in the United States. We ended slavery in the 1800s, so you do not have to work anywhere, but you may have to pay them money. So, but nobody can make you come to work in the United States. It doesn't work that way. You may have a contract problem. You may owe money. You may have other problems, but you don't have to work there. If you're close to your end, like I tell people, look, if you're close or you're in there or whatever, you got a few months, stick it out, end the contract that way by working through it. So you got to decide. But other people have written, said, look, here's my checks. I'm making $200 a week. You have to leave. You almost have to leave. You can't live on it. So depends on your situation. I'm not a lawyer. Fleet Nav Systems will put a disclaimer up for me, I'm sure. I'm thinking about being a microfilm courier, broking the space between my toes, one of my nasal passages, or your ear canal. Oh, well, there's not a lot. That's the problem. You're going to have to charge a lot because there's not a lot of space. 3 loads a week, that's an additional $150 just to unload pay for watching a pump. Yeah, so tankers, not bad. If you're just pumping in and out. I've seen several couples have broker's license. One stays home and brokers for other drivers as well. Eddie McFadden. That seems to be the solution, doesn't it? So kind of beat him or join him. Okay, brokers make so much money. Bingo. Have whoever's at home become a broker. So you broker your load for your company, which is your trucking company, whatever your spouse or whoever it is drives, and also other loads for other drivers. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom, problem solved. You're keeping the broker money on your loads, and you're getting broker money from other loads. I don't see why that doesn't work. Some of our drivers, GP Transco, some of our drivers ask us why we can't ungovern our trucks because everybody will go 100. Believe me. And I lost that because I want to see that, right? And okay. It's because truck speed above 67 is more fuel. Right. We would rather pay our drivers from saving fuel. I agree. Look, I want the trucks to go the speed limit too, but I see why companies do it. Yeah, I'm sure. Get your wife and number one girlfriend to be broke. Yeah, if you got your wife and a couple of your girlfriends to be brokers, you'd have tons of money rolling in. Would you rather go 70 and earn 45 cents or 67 and earn 52 cents? Exactly. Because some drivers don't ever think like the company has any bills or anything. It's super expensive to run a truck. That's why I never bought a truck. Mark, why don't you buy a truck? I don't want all those bills from that truck. They're expensive. They have bills. They break down. I don't want to have to deal with that. And so because of that, I got to deal with a speed limit on the truck. That's right. If people owned a truck, they probably wouldn't go 90 every day anyways because they wouldn't be able to make any money. You'll run 67 for 52 cents. Yeah, you're still 2 over. What happened to the trucker who killed the people at the pilot? I haven't heard anything more about that. Out of 16 new drivers, how many teal trucks are that? It depends if they're coming this way. None. You don't pay the lumper. Pay the lumper service. The lumper only gets 25%. The service gets most of them put towards equipment, office. Well, shouldn't we know what they pay? Where's the owner-operators? Why don't we know what the lumper gets and how much the lumper service gets? We should have a right to know that. 13 of those are teal trucks? Wow. All Cascadias probably. Remember, no truck is guaranteed there. The ag exemption is trickier? Yes. Explaining it to somebody at the scale, they're like, forget it. GP Transco maybe uses the Holiday Inn. Oh, pretty nice. I'll take it. Everyone here, thank you for doing a job. Myself and your family appreciate it. Stephen Taylor, well, we love doing it. You have to. If you stay in trucking any amount of time, you got to love it. John Armstrong, you're not a lawyer, but play one on YouTube. I try not to give legal advice. I had a level 2. Look, Fleet Nav Systems had the best disclaimer. I just love it. So they know I love their disclaimers. And asked, do you stay local? Yes. Do you have an ELD? Why do you have an ELD? I think it's, I said I think it's stupid, but to look at the name on the door, it's not my call. Exactly. Right? Every truck we have ELD. Even drivers that stay super closer to here than I do. Right? I go beyond the air miles limit, but some drivers don't. All of them have an ELD in them. They don't want a deal. They said everybody is running logs, period. Benton, Arkansas is not Bentonville. Oh, okay. That's how all right, Benton. Sorry, Bentonville. The 454 ran until 1988. Big block. When my grandpa got it, it had a 305. And the Oldsmobile was running engine. Oh, well, that's a good reason. Grandpa's a do whatever you have to do to make it work kind of guy. Look, it's okay engine for that. It's just, going from big block. But if you already had it running, then yeah, stick it in there, I guess. I agree. It probably runs great. Is that an automatic? Probably. If I buy a jet ski, I always must play Eye of the Tiger when riding it. Well, now, jet skis are attached to that geotab now, certainly. Is it true that new hires do have a road test? I thought that was a regulation. I don't know. I don't think it's a regulation. We'll see what they say. I don't think a road test is a regulation. Maybe a drug test. My paycheck is thanks enough. Thank you, Stephen. Joe Ritchie's here. Hello, Mark. Love all the videos. I'm the recruiter for Great Plains. Yes. Great Plains Transport in North Dakota, home of the free groceries. And we just added per diem pay legally, too. That's pretty awesome. So Great Plains Transport, which I should put a slide up for, but I don't have one. Right? When you come to work there, they give you a bunch of groceries. They basically fill your truck with groceries. And now they have per diem. So pretty interesting. Do you charge for the per diem? So I could yell at you about it. I hope not. Okay. GP Transco's not a legal regulation. Bingo. That's what I thought. If a driver has over a certain number of years, we currently do not do the road test. Oh, nice. Biggest check, $510 at Western. Can they prohibit you from working at another carrier? Well, that's kind of like CRST in that CRST sued Swift over this kind of thing. They said, and they didn't stop the drivers from working there. What they did is sue Swift and said, you can't hire our drivers because they're in a contract with us. So that is a problem. They didn't go after the drivers. Could you work somewhere else? If somebody will hire you, you can always work somewhere. But you have a deal with Western. You do. I understand $500 is horrible, and I don't get how they even stay in business. I get it. If you're close, you should try to run out the contract. You really should. I'm just telling you, because they, if they aggressively, what if they sue you about it later? I mean, you got a thing on your record and all that. The place is a disaster. What people have recommended, what I wouldn't say necessarily to do, is that read your contract. If they fire you, you may not have to pay it. I don't know. If it says that in there, you might want to try to get fired. I don't know. That might be one way out of it. If it's in the contract. I don't have a copy of their contract. You might want to call a lawyer, which would be a good idea, and see what they say. Can I work somewhere else? Just ask a quick question to a lawyer and see if they'll answer. Sure, Richie, hope all is well as your way, and enjoy the debate with all the drivers and companies on here. Yeah, I love it. Right, I love it. Sometimes I have a different opinion of people, and that's okay. And that's how we get everything out there. People all said, oh, you can't give your opinion. That's not true. Everybody should be able to have their opinion, and we'll hash it out right here. Maddie wants to go 75 and make 52 cents. Well, that's true. Why can't we go 75 and make 52 cents? I would like that. How about if the truck speed limit went up based on the speed limit of the road that we're on? Alexander, your truck goes 65. Yeah, I hear you. Same here. As long as I could do 65, I'm fine. I make good money doing what you do. Yeah, you do pretty good there, and they've kept you rolling really good, which is nice. I've seen companies that require ELD of local drivers so that they already have their 7 days if they have to leave that radius. Fleet Nav. Well, what they said here is that it's just too complicated to have some ELD and some don't, and this, you don't have it, then you have it. So they just said, look, all the trucks are getting it. Everybody's on it, period. And all the trucks have them already installed. So it doesn't matter if you just go to Indy and back, which I've done before. Can you go down to Indy and bring a trailer back? Yes, that's logged. It's all logged. So it's only 60 miles, but it doesn't matter. You have to log You're just required to log it. The truck moves, you're required to be logged. It's their policy, and like people said, you don't own the truck, Mark. That's correct. So I have to follow their policy, or out the door you go. I got out of your contract by calling TVC. That's not a bad idea, right? Call a lawyer and see if there's some way out of the deal, because $500 a week is going to break you on the road. Look, we're paying $18 for chicken fingers, for crying out loud. And I've never seen fingers on a chicken. My truck is wide open, but I have not run it over 68. Well, every once in a while you could pass somebody, right? But you're not going to set the cruise at 80 out west, probably. The trucks get 25% worse fuel economy going 75 compared to 65. Yes. And so the company's got to eat that, and so that's why they make them go lower. You get at 4.9 go to 75. That's crazy in a truck. I mean, of course, you're not paying for it, but still. Hey, what's going on, Michael Muller? It's good to see you here today. Fuel consumption goes up, which means other costs need to be cut. Yeah, and there's not a lot of profit in it. Usually you have to pick up faster trucks or higher pay. That'd be an interesting thing to ask drivers. Every mile an hour over 67, which you said your trucks are at, they lose 2 cents a mile. And see what speed people would choose. So if they go 75, they're going to lose 14 cents a mile. Let's see if people go for that. I know an owner-operator who governed his own truck at 67. He said he's forcing himself to save fuel. It's working because he's not hurting. As an owner, I'd at least want the truck open so I could go as fast as I want, right? But that's not a bad idea if you can't hold it to that. Al Jones would go 62 for even better fuel mods. Yikes. Now we're getting down. Now Prime's going to start passing you. The whole idea of owning the truck, right? Been listening to these comments for a while. Restoration and the drivers and health company treats them. We're at somewhere else, but always research your carriers very thoroughly. Yes. Hard to hire a Western or CST driver, as most drivers applying are under contract trying to flee. Yeah, but what happens? So that's a good question from you. So somebody applies, and this will help other drivers, and they're under contract with, say, Western. What happens at your end? Do you just refuse to hire them? I get 70 miles an hour with bonuses and get more than 50 cents as long as I stay safe. Each company can, govern however they want, certainly. How do I get dedicated freight? Find a company that does dedicated freight. A lot of them do it. Many large companies, many small companies have dedicated freight. So absolutely, just ask them. What do you got that's dedicated? I love doing the same thing every day. I was getting 8 on 24,000 pound load going across 35. That's pretty good. 8's much better. Do you keep your dashboard cleaned off? That's a DOT. Take it in, get it pulled behind the scale. I agree. Keep your dash clean. You don't, because the way they're set up, you don't see it as much. Oh my gosh, it used to be everybody's dashboard had coffee cups and 10 maps up there and stuff. Clean all that junk out of there. That's the first thing they're like, well, this truck is going, and that little window, which you talked about last week on the side, the passenger door, you could see in there. If that's full of garbage, okay, you're coming into the scale house. You delivered a load of Clorox chewables to Walmart. Yeah, I couldn't believe people are like, should we drink bleach? Would that work? No. Yeah, and then I thought about it. I thought, yes, you should drink bleach if you think that. Okay, Joe Ritchie, no charge for per diem. Pay $66 a day. That would way increase your check. And I'd get that big check while I'm eating this free food. I love the idea. So, okay, the Chevy had an automatic. That's what I figured. 3-speed, converted to a 4-speed, which it needed. But not long after your dad got it, the engine locked up. Carb. So I'm going to put the body on a Dodge Ram. Yikes. I'd like to see pictures of that. Be more effective to start as a broker agent. Becoming a standalone licensed broker requires a massive investment, which most owner-operators don't have. Well, if they have these massive investments, that's why they need to make more money. See, I didn't know any of that. I thought you just kind of got a license and became a broker. So if there's a larger investment, then they make more, like a doctor. When you go to school and pays $300,000 to go to school, you make more money. If fuel and speed are such an expensive combo, then how come bull haulers go 80 and still make money? Ever notice those trucks never break down? That's a good question. Can't wait to get an Asia Wasp in your motorcycle helmet. Bees are so 2019. Yeah, now we have murder hornets. That's awesome. First we have Asia flu. Now we have murder hornets. In other words, as an agent, you still can't guarantee your company freight. The Cummins engine and a 6-speed manual. I'd love to see that in that Chevy swap. Not sure I have a cat on my dashboard. A few personal things never brought behind a scale. A few personal things. I'm talking about, I've seen these dashboards full of junk. Empty coffee cups, maps, papers thrown up there and stuff. Just a total disaster up there. Lucas does GP Transco hire owner-operators? And do they have a guarantee for owner-operators? That's a good question. Do you have any kind of guarantee for owners? How do I feel about Cox? Oh, Cox. Anybody here from Cox? Going to pick up a load of syringes full of Lysol. If people think this, they should do it and see how it works for them. There was a guy in the Southwest, I don't remember what state, he drank a bunch of pool cleaner. And he went to the hospital. I'm like, really? Oh, he said, yeah, I heard it does something. Come on. I never understood how gas price could change in the morning and middle day. Isn't it the same gas? Maybe. But this is another free market thing. And gas is always cheap. It's always super cheap, I think, especially in the United States. But no matter what you're driving, it's cheap. If you got to commute a long way, get a small car. Why do people commute in a 1960 Suburban? Okay, if you're commuting a long way, get something efficient. Otherwise, gas is still cheap. I never even think about it. I always get it at Meijer because they have 93 over there. I don't even think about the price of it. It was $2. I don't know what it was yesterday because I fill up the wife's Escape every week over there. Allied Trucking is still hiring in Spokane, Washington. That's good. If you're interested, reach out via the website and can show data from the trucks regarding fuel consumption. Oh, yeah. Look, I believe you for sure on that. Every little bit, it gets worse fuel mileage. Absolutely. Why do we need brokers? Truckers and shippers is all we need in the industry. Because every shipper would have to deal with drivers and, or owners of these companies all over the places. They would have to have a dedicated team of people, especially a large shipper, to get all their stuff shipped. It makes it easier to say, here's 50 loads that are coming out today. Get them taken care of. They don't have to have anybody themselves do it. That's why I think they use them. Don Shula, the Miami Dolphins coach, passed away. That's too bad. That guy was, is that the guy I read about? He's like 90 years old, right? And so good life, and that's sad. Not a big sports person, but I did read about that in the news. Big Trucking, you give your opinion on your daily vlog. That's pretty awesome. That's what it's for, right? Lucas, no guarantee in owner-operator trucking is a tough gig. Yes. It was nothing I just didn't want to get into that part of it. People say, why don't you own a truck? No. You'll be more successful. I don't know. It depends. I like having vacation and insurance, so it just depends. And you can have that as an owner-operator, I get it, but I don't want to have to deal with any of that stuff. They deliver a load of gas in the middle of the day. What that load cost affects the price of the pump. Plus it's 10 cents. Okay, so it's 10. So it's 40 cents. Who cares? 12 gallons is $5. I mean, that's nothing. Exactly for passing. Worry about the big stuff, and all the little stuff takes care of itself. I never worry about gas. Just fill it up. Don't care. Worry about big stuff. Big picture. Get the big, make a lot of money, and gas is not a problem. Don't worry about a little bit of gas price. Well, Bill feels like a pincushion. I feel bad for you over there. Are you being tested for corona? Is that why they're taking your blood? The type of freight makes a difference due to the weight. Yes. Going 67 is perfect, which is the only freight we do in dry vans. Yes. That's why I'm never a huge fan of a fuel bonus, because I can never determine. Maybe I get all the heavy loads and then some brown noser gets all the light loads. So for me personally, I don't like a fuel bonus for that reason. A lumper asked how much I was paid for throwing freight. He said he made 4 cents a piece. We get paid 11. He was in disbelief. Lumper services rip off everyone, including their own employees. No, this is the same as Western Express and everything. A lumper service isn't a rip off. The person agrees to the 4 cents and does it. And then you realize this is no good. They should quit. So it's the same kind of thing. I always put that kind of onus on the person. They can only pay 4 cents because people will come in and throw freight for 4 cents a piece. That's the only reason they can do it. Even though drivers sometimes say going 67 is not safe, it's too slow. I love it. We see a direct correlation between higher speed and safety violations and accidents. Yeah, it could be. But a lot of trucks go less than 67. So what do they think about that? My company owner charges detention to the truck, not to the driver. You mean who paid? Does the driver get paid it? Western doesn't send you home on the weekends, but makes you sit at a truck stop. Well, hey, there's more parking now, right? And you get to meet new and exciting people. Look, it's horrible. The whole place is horrible. That they'd make you sit out for free. I'm sure they're not paying you anything at Western over the weekends. You could sit at home for free. That's the thing about Western and those kind of places. Can't wait to haul the new UV light pills they say are a shining drug. Yeah, they talked about that too. Can you shine a light down there? UV does pretty much, clear stuff. You put water outside in a clear container, a few hours, you got drinkable water in the UV. Ask yourself this question: is the coefficient of drag is reduced, and why isn't this contraption on a Learjet? Jet fuel is $7 a gallon. What contraption is that? Chicken fingers and buffalo wings. I think someone's pulling the sheep over our eyes. Ugh. Yikes. What? The sheep over our eyes. We should cut the safety officer in HR. Yeah. Just go right to the top, right? Hey, Wild Bill, who do I drive for? Well, for new people to the show, I don't ever say where I drive. That keeps them out of my videos. And I don't recruit on YouTube. Like 75%, we'll say, of drivers are out there recruiting because they're making more on that than they're making miles, okay? No recruiting for me on YouTube. And that just keeps them, and I get to say whatever I want. So that keeps it pretty clear out there. I've been going 60 and 55, very light traffic, getting over 9. That's really good. Well, you're going to make the bonus over there then, aren't you? They can stick that patch on your jacket. I had 18 stop drops for $11,275. Wow. Well, you get more than per stop than company drivers do. I will say that. That's a pretty good week, considering some people are protesting. Here's the thing about protests. Look to do what is making money. Don't go gripe that you're not making money. Go, what do I need to do to make money? What do I need to do? And go do that. That's all. In anything that you do. Always kept the dash clean and the truck washed. Out of 10 years, only been inspected twice. Dirty trucks equal more inspections. I agree. That's why I don't like these companies that have a policy of never washing trucks. That's crazy. Who does that? Always going to California, always on the border there, the blue beacon, always hit that blue beacon. Goal is to deliver freight on time and pay drivers as much as possible. 67 is one of the things that makes that possible. Yeah, look, at a company, that's their policy, and so you go, I'm for it or not. You're not going to get too many companies that run more than 67. Maybe 70 for some of them, but that's going to be it, really. Otherwise, you got to buy your own truck. Then you can go as fast as you want. Where I am, it's 65, and that's a lot of people. I usually run with the trucks when they're heading your way. A nice and always signal. That's good. GP Transco, you guys are making people use signals. Okay, that's interesting. Joe Ritchie, we avoid Western and CRST under contract, as Western have always sent a boilerplate letter, really, stating a driver's under contract and mentioned possible legal action. So you just say no. That's what I thought, and that's what I talked about when CRST sued Swift. I said this would quiet the whole industry. Oh, there's a legal term which I shouldn't use. But what this would do is force other companies like your company and others to really think about whether they want to hire a driver that's in a contract from some of these companies. And what do you do, Joe Ritchie, if someone comes from England under contract too? Because they're very aggressive with the driver. Many drivers send me the letters that they get from England. So if somebody comes in an England contract or any contract, do you just not hire, or are they just not as aggressive with the company about it? And so this is the problem of getting into a contract that I always tell people to go to truck school yourself. Even if you have to pay for it or get a loan or whatever, don't go into a contract with a company, because you're going to be stuck there when you have a contract. Other companies won't hire you just because of this kind of thing, because they don't want the legal action. I understand that. They don't want to. Why should they want to deal with that when there's other drivers they can hire? It's a real problem. I drink bleach to clean out your one set of underwear. Well, there are 4 days, right? Turn them around and then reverse them. Your truck was recently turned down to 65 from 68. Yikes. I honestly noticed an increase in fuel miles. I can't blame them. We get a fuel bonus. Yeah. And that's the problem with a company is when you own it, not a problem, but they can turn your truck down. I think less than 65 is too slow. I'm going to do a video series putting the Chevy truck body on the Dodge Freedom. I'd love to see that. I mean, that is going to be, I can't imagine that. But I need to find the donor Dodge. I mean, it's not set up to fit on there. How's that going to work? So you get the Dodge and the Cummins already in the Dodge? Per diem is only good if it's in addition to your check. You're right. I display my sports hats in my dash proudly. Okay. Yeah, look, that stuff is fine. But displaying your collection of crushed up coffee cans and maps, Motor Carrier's Road Atlas from 4 years ago, that doesn't do as good of a deal for the scales, I don't think. Running the Midwest, I see bull haulers running 80, but also see wrecks. Huh, that's not good. I got a beef with that. I think those Wows have been here already. Asian Wows listen to Baby Metal. That wouldn't be a bad name for a band, too. Maybe not. Asian Wows. Maybe for house music. You know, Mark will never reveal he drives with the Superman secret identity. Well, it keeps him out of your videos. I tell everybody, I recommend everybody that, right? Hey, what's going on, Mad Hatter? So it's good to see you out there. Let's see, I'm doing clickings. Oh, and I lost my spot again. Big trucking, why are you in front of the BMW dealership? I go look at cars every once in a while. Just out there on Sunday checking out some BMWs. No problem. Mark is asking, likes George Wilson. I know one day he will slip up. Petroleum is traded on the stock market. Price is determined by market and at the gas station. Like the Speedway and Family Express are right across the street from each other downtown here. So those two, one's not going to be $250 and one's $150. That's not going to happen. Sometimes stations hold back by raising prices, and it's 8 cents. But would you even cross the street for 8 cents a gallon? I see people do this all the time. Okay, just go to the one on your side of the street and buy gas. Don't worry about how much it is. 8 cents, okay, even 20 gallons you put in, it's $1.60. $1.60. Of course, Allied is hiring. They got to clean out 60,000 plus homes and apartments from people that died, and their furniture got to go. Hey, but good thing, more apartments available. Always a plus side. What if you get a citation for overweight of 1,800 pounds? Should I have to fight that at court? It depends. Do you have a way to fight it? I mean, that's another lawyer question, really. But unless you got a way to fight it, it's a tough fight. But it'd be worth talking to one of these TVC people again. Pass along compliments to the drivers. I usually try calling safety. Oh, S. Isaacs, you're one of the onlys that do that, and that's not a bad idea. Maybe when we see someone driving correctly, we ought to call the company and go, "Wow, you're driving correctly." What kind of tractor do I like? George Wilson. I prefer a Western Star. I very rarely have them, but I prefer them. I think they're quieter and well made. But otherwise, I'll take a Cascadia probably, or a Volvo. That would be I think the Volvo shifts better. Cascadia is pretty nice inside too. We shouldn't have a guarantee in any business. I agree. Darnell, so I was at a BMW dealership. Hi, Roller. I'm just out checking out the Beamers out there. You know, got to check out the cars. Can't be rolling around a Yugo out here. Western Welfare Express. Nice. There is something to that, of people all like they're getting in their $400 car or whatever and going home. But there's something to getting in a car that is new. Everything works. It's got loaded with options and it's nice. That changes who you are in your mind. That's your mindset Monday. That changes your mind about who you are. And you don't get it to show off to anybody else. You get it because it changes you. It's you, not them. Some people buy things to show off to other people, but you should get that to change you. You can't get in a $400 car after you work 4 weeks on the road and go, I'm successful, right? When your tires cost more than the car does. When I drive my company's truck, I wish it went 80. I wish they went 80 too, because I'm not paying for the fuel. You're going to head out. Storms are blowing over. See you in the next one. All right. I want to see some pictures of you swapping the bodies on that. That's really something. The day cab Volvo would fall apart at 80, I'm pretty sure. I like the way that Volvo shift, the I shift in the Volvos, is the smoothest shifting automatic I've ever seen. Preacher Paul gets paid for your time if you sit. That's great. This, unfortunately, Western driver here is not getting paid. Give a Buffalo Red Bull, it'll grow wings. Nice. Cattle haulers drive faster because of future prices in the stock market, Kelly. They're trying to beat the futures. Yikes, the price is going down as they're headed over there. I think when getting your driver's license, you should know all laws for every vehicle on the road. Wow. Nobody would go along with that. That would be a disaster. I think that if a physical is required for drivers, though, a physical should be required of anyone driving a large vehicle, which would include an RV. And we'll see what older people think about that. I don't recruit, but if people ask me, You like it there? You say yes. Yeah, that's great. Even with the 65-mile-an-hour trucks, driver-facing cameras, and horrible equipment, because every night you see your beautiful wife and daughter. Okay. Look, if that works for you, totally stay at that job, right? I mean, I totally think that's the way to do it. Every company doesn't fit for everybody. My company lets you wash your truck anytime, but they don't pay me for your time, so you don't. Every once in a while, though, you're going to have to run that thing through the wash. I mean, it's going to look horrible. If we would see what the brokers make, then we should know how much Mark makes on YouTube. Not much, believe me. And the last few months, because of all this, revenue's down like 40% for people. So let me say this, it's less than minimum wage. Keep that in mind. We're governed at 72, Preacher Paul. Eddie McFadden, good show. Thank you. Thank you for making all the money and buying us all lunch today, too. I really love it. If you don't want to pay for a truck wash, just get a big sponge and pail. No, just do like I see all these drivers. Just grab the squeegee. Just squeegee it off at the fuel line, right? I see drivers doing that all the time. I'm like, oh, that's why I can't see, because the squeegee's full of rocks from the side of your truck. I don't get 4 days out of under when you're wearing a thong. Yes, that's true. You got to think about that. Hard to reverse. For the truck drivers who were processed, or you're going to the government for help. We need less government. Strike a contract deal with them, but cannot do this with old equipment. It depends, right? Old equipment is paid for, but gets 5 miles to the gallon. So it depends which one costs more. Fleet Nav, unlike a lot of our competitors, we don't do contracts. We keep our customers with awesome service. It keeps us economical and gives customers freedom to go wherever they want. The contract should be legal. My 2020 Peterbilt Aviator trucker with a 13-speed and 80,000 averages 8.5 at 70. That's really good. And what engine is in that? Is that one of those NX Pete engines in there? Packars? Drove a Cascadia at 67 and got 7.8 east to west. I don't know. What engine is in that thing? In the Pete? Al John's your home? All right. Finally. We get 2 truck washes a month. That's not bad. In between washes, when you go home, you wash it yourself or you take the truck with you. Would rather spend a little time washing your truck than to get inspected. I think, look, don't you like it when it's clean? All right, same with your car, right? Clean, get it clean so it looks good when you're out there. Bipolar, well, at 61, May should be saving money left and right. They do. On fuel costs, too bad they can't kick down some of that profit to their drivers. That's the thing. That place must be making money hand over fist. And now I hear that something that might happen to them, somebody's going to buy them. Oh, that'd be great if they would close. Oh, Bridget wants to come in and say hello too. How about that, Bridgie? Go see her eventually. She's living in Terre Haute apparently. What company is the most paid vacation? Money's one thing, paid time off is important. It varies. Celadon, oh right, they're closed. Used to give you a vacation every 10,000, 20,000 miles, 15,000 miles. 4 or 5 weeks you can get. I think Yellow does more than that. Union companies do better. Certainly, if you stay at a place, you get more vacation. Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. This month, May, is 18 years for me at one company. So staying somewhere is worth something. You get more vacation. You get all these extra things. And I'm not telling you can't change jobs or like if you move, you're a job hopper. I'm not saying that at all. Sometimes you have to leave. There's good reasons to leave. But some people get 3 jobs a year for 10 years. That's not a great plan. Find a place and stay there. You like Kenworth, but you're loyal to Macs. Oh, Mac for like local use only. Running the rails in Chicago, I had a Mac. But no way. Could I don't know about road. I never did one on the road. Like a Superliner or something. I don't know how that would be. Al John's, your Cobalt is red. It's like a Corvette, but smaller. Almost the same. There's hard to tell the difference, too, when you see them. Slower, uglier, and cheaper. It's paid off, so you win. Okay. I mean, there's different thoughts of, on that. That's not my thought on a car versus winning. Darnell got a new Infiniti when he went out. My wife fussed at first, but now I'm not allowed to drive her Infiniti. All right. Well, sure, you have your own car, and see, like the Escape is the wife's car, but I drive it on Sunday to go fill it up for the wife. So you should do that as well. Absolutely. And I don't mind Infiniti. I've looked at the QX50s and stuff like that. We looked at that too. So not bad. How about a Sylvester brake? I have another Sylvester too down here. How about this one? What? Oh, this one's good too. This is sent in by a loyal viewer as well. So like a dilute tortoiseshell kind of is what I would call it maybe. I don't exactly know what it is. Oh. Please send all your cat pictures in. Alexander washes the truck twice a month. Got to make sure it's not leaking and running in clean order. Yeah, keep it clean, and I do think that keeps you out of the scales. Absolutely. These companies that don't allow washings, do they not wash their car ever? I don't understand it. Don't they want their trucks to look good when they pull up somewhere too? The UPS washes every single truck they have every single day. Every truck gets washed every day. You never see a dirty one. It matters when you pull up somewhere. And the driver takes better care of it, I think. If the company, I can't care more about the truck than the company cares. Alexander, drive your VNL 760 in the ground. It's got good power. Is that a Volvo powered truck? I drove for Wiener and a T680. The truck kept breaking down, the transmission. Okay, so you haven't any issues at Preacher Paul? Costco fleet trailers and trucks are washed weekly. Yeah, and that they look good too. Aluminum trailer wheels. That is a good looking truck over there. And it should be. Then you pull up there and you look like you know what you're doing. The truck looks good. I totally agree with it. Drive a YT 1300. You can't, well, I guess you could do that here now. Do you at least wash it? That's pretty good. I haven't driven a motorcycle in a while. I had a few of them, a KZ 400. I drove that for a long time. I learned on an LTD 440. So that was pretty good. I had a VMAX for a while, so that was a lot of fun. Yours was a 16 with 300,000 just getting broke in. Oh, wow. Terre Haute, that's where I'm headed right now, dropping off flowers for a pizza company. Why would pizza company, Kenneth? Why does a pizza company need flowers? Maybe flour. But all these, hey, a new flour pizza. Keep our truck clean. No shoes in the sleeper. That's correct. Shoes get taken off up front. So the Pete does have the MX-13 opened up on direct pressure instead of economy. 475, that's good at 475. Technique matters. Gearing makes a difference. Yeah, I guess I'm not as big on getting the fuel mileage for it. Ours are automatics now, but because I don't get paid a fuel bonus, so I don't have to think about it as much. My next truck is a white short bed 1500. It'll match your truck and your Buick. Your Buick. Buick. Yes, that's Penelope right there. She's so cute. I would call it a dilute tortoiseshell, but I'm not sure. So, my T680 is a Packard body, Cummins engine, and a 13-speed. Clutch went out on my auto at 500 miles on the odometer in the 20 Kenworth. Wow. Was that made on a Friday evening? Alexander, you'll have to send in your photo of Nigma. She's a fur baby. Yeah, I'd love to see it. And your truck has the 13-liter Volvo. Oh, and so what do you think about that on the road, this smaller Volvo engine? I know. I saw her sister on Facebook and got them both. Yeah, she's a good-looking cat. I've never seen one like that. If you call in the scale house, don't go dressed like a slob. Yes, that's the other thing about a scale. So you get out of the truck. You have a shirt you've had on for 4 weeks. You stink. I mean, you got that big toe that clicks on the ground in front of your flip-flops. Come on. And don't give the guy a hassle and know what you're talking about. Yeah, here's my paperwork. You know, if everything's all organized, which it should be, here's all this. Here's everything, right? Here's my 3 logbooks, all of it. To throw it right on there. And, and here's Mr. Jack. My name, Andrew Jackson. Here's my ID, right? There you go. And then you're out of there. Truck is just sort of 560. Yeah, that's pretty good for a company truck. Now, John's more. You can't have too many. Mark, you're always pushing for getting paid for every single minute. What's up with that? Yeah, what's up with that? Why should employees get paid all their time? Oh, because employees should get paid for their time. As an employee, not as an owner, but as an employee, you should get paid for your time. If a company, and it doesn't matter what industry it is, asks you to work as an employee, do work for us, they need to give you something in exchange for that work, that time. Time is worth money. People forget that. Time is the most valuable thing that you have because you have the least amount of it and you can't get any more of it. So when they ask you to take your time up, they need to give you money in exchange for it. That's all I'm saying. And I expect that. And so a company that's not going to do that for me, I wouldn't be interested in. And nobody should be. The only reason they do it is because people tolerate it. Darnell, our company has a detail guy come on the yard once a week. Wow. Memphis to detail the trucks. If you want to pay out of your pocket, he'll polish also. Wow. That's pretty good. They come and detail the trucks. Nice. If you wash your truck with a squeegee, proper footwear is a must. Oh, you got the people squeegeeing have those flip-flops, and these are the ones where that thing that goes in between your toe is already pulled out because the hole's big, and so it's flopping around and stuff. Yeah. Do you drive for Ozark? Now, what better way to celebrate Cinco de Mayo than Coronas and tacos? I totally agree with you. Right. Volvo Park pulls better than the D12 Detroit powered freight. Well, I'm just wondering on the road because, we have the 15-liter Detroits in all of ours. So even the day cabs get them. So I'm just wondering how that 13 does on the road. Pulling a load of rock or riprap out of the quarry with a Mack with a 12-speed Max-a-Torque. Riprap? What the heck is riprap? Wasn't that group in the 90s that wore their clothes backwards? Remember that group? Andrew Jackson, better be Ben Franklin. Truckers, I'm just, hey. So he goes, he goes, I thought your name was Ben Franklin, and I thought you were twins. I go, oh, yikes. I don't know about that. Wonder what the mile per hour and the Amish get with their horsepower. 1 horsepower, yeah, they do pretty good. 1 bale of hay. That happened to me in Chicago. Just started driving my local job. I got stopped by a Chicago cop. And I don't know how long I'd been driving, a few months probably. And he goes, oh, you're not allowed to be on this street. And what do I know? I'm stupid. I didn't know anything. And I go, oh, okay, whatever. And he was at the passenger door. He walked up there. And I'm in this old GMC Brigadier. It's shaking and stuff. And he goes, how can we take care of this? I go, I don't know. He goes, well, when I come back, I need to see a 20 on the seat. And this is a true story, right? This is not a trucker story. In the passenger seat. Okay. So he goes back to his car and gets his clipboard and he puts it down. He put it down on top of that 20 that was sitting on the seat. And he goes, now don't ever come down this street again. And when he picked up his clipboard, somehow the 20 had stuck to it and he took off. And he went in his car and left. Now, I don't know if I was even supposed to be on that street to this day, but that is my story of Andrew Jackson, your brother Andrew Jackson, getting you out of a problem. And I assume if he did that a few times a day, that the guy probably made a pretty good living being a police officer. What are you going to tell him? No. Lucky I had a 20. I couldn't get, I think that was in the morning, it seems like, and I couldn't get my hot dog that day. I would always stop at one of those hot dog carts and get a hot dog for lunch, and then I couldn't do it that day. Time is money, sell your watch today. Oh, men without hats. Oh, they can dance if they want to, I will say that. CFI laid off office people. I've seen a lot of companies that were doing that, have been laying off the people in the office. If I'm at work, I get paid or I just move on to the next one. That's totally what people should do. If you don't feel you're being paid properly, you should leave. Yeah, I can't go to the government and say, look, my company is not paying me enough. They'll go, too bad. I mean, that's not how it works here. That's not how it works for owners or company drivers. Riding, so that's why I don't take the truck to the wash. The sandals with the thing in between the toes is ironically called thongs as well. Oh, so you could wear a thong with your thongs. I quit because I got a better deal at Cooper. I ran containers and it got slow. Yeah, you said that they've been really good to you there at that place. And that's probably the company's best way to recruit people is to be nice to the people that they have, and they'll go out and find you good drivers. Big Huge Mike finally got my load time to head back to the Northeast. I'll be listening. Be safe. All right. Good. At least you got loaded. Thanks for being here. Riff Raff was Underdog's nemesis. Oh, yeah. What was their name, though? Criss Cross. That's it. Criss Cross. Remember them from the 90s? Our fuel got slow, but food grade stayed somewhat steady. What I like about here is one division slows, you transfer to another division, hopefully with a different tanker. We got several, including reefer. You're out of fuel? We need to go pick up that syrup over there at Staley. Maybe get a washout. Volvo trucks are the demise of trucking. Riprap is a big, chunky, broken rock. Oh, okay. A big, chunky, broken rock. Not all cops are heroes. Well, I kind of thought he was a hero. I didn't get a ticket. I can't believe how many times the Mexican peso got me out of trouble in Mexico. Well, yeah, you wouldn't need as many of them there, right? This was Chicago. You love cops, and I'm not anti-cop. Yeah, me either. My family, I've talked about it, right? I'm from a police family, absolutely. And from them coming home and talking is really why I didn't want to become an officer. I'll say that. Western Express Atlanta terminal closed, no money for rent. Charles Thomas. Okay, so a couple people talked about this in the last couple of weeks, and I've looked, and I can't find this anywhere. Nobody, it would seem like a big place like Western, somebody would have done a video. There's no driver that's done a video about it. There's nothing in the news about it. It's not posted on any trucking news, nothing. No video, no nothing. So how do we know this? How do you know it? And if you're there at that terminal, go do a video and put up a YouTube video or somewhere about it, because there's nothing. I would love to say that they're closing down terminals and stuff, but I can't find anything about it at all. I drove a Granite Mac for 6 months and got so acquainted with my hemorrhoids that I named them. Yeah, look, our model in town, it was tough, but I wouldn't want to take it anywhere. He got me because I was on a boulevard. Maybe. I don't even know where I was at this point. It was so long ago. That was 30 some years ago, and I'm just in my extreme upper 30s, so that's what I'm saying here. Yeah, I love cops, and I have no info about the Clintons. Yeah, you don't want to be... You don't want that problem. Somebody will be getting the Rona over there. Little kids with their pants on backwards, crisscross. Yeah, Chris from the 90s, right. They wore their clothes backwards. Exactly. The MX-13 pulls great even down at 900. The Packard transmission just really kills it. See, so they need to put that engine maybe down into a Volvo, because the I-shift or whatever they call it in that thing I drive, super great. I just drove ours a little bit. We only have one Volvo, and it shifted great like a car. You couldn't even tell. Oh, yeah, crisscross will make you jump. That's right. If they didn't like it, was wiggity, wackety, whack. Exactly. Now we know what we're talking about. Maybe I should go solo at the manhole and start doing that. I could wear my slicks leather chaps backwards, although I don't know how that would go at the manhole. Our fuel driver has been hauling a lot of beer loads and Walmart loads. Keenan Advantage has been fighting to keep us busy and sending out weekly updates about new ventures. Well, because they need to move too, right? So, because they have truck payments and stuff too. I totally agree with that, and at least they're rolling you. I'm just saying, use different trailers. That's what I'm saying. The Clintons will suicide you. No, I don't think that's true, and I'm not saying that's true here at all in any kind of public way. Certainly not. Certainly not, and I'm just going to make sure the door's locked. Do you think that ticket would have been $20? Oh, it wouldn't have been jail or anything. It would have just been a ticket. Just being on the wrong road, I'm sure it would just been some kind of ticket. Back then, it might have been $20. Who knows? Are we getting a $25,000 bonus pay from Trump? Okay, no. It was going to be $13,000. They talked about $13,000, but and it was going to be $25 an hour, if I remember right. $25 an hour, $15 an hour. I can't remember now. Boy, this is terrible. I should go have some ginkgo biloba or something. Anyhow, up to the $13,000, but right, $25,000. Okay, $13 an hour. I'm all backwards. I'm crisscrossed. $25,000 at $13 an hour, but nothing else has been said about it. They floated it out there, and it floated away, like releasing a balloon. It just floated away, and that's the last. I assume it's floated somewhere that's under restriction, so they can't go find it. I did a quick drop-off run in the Houston airport, $40 for 15 minutes and 1 hour of time. That's pretty good. I would say that's pretty good. You should do a Slayer cover band. Oh, yeah, I don't know any of their songs. Slayer's a little pat, maybe Rat. That would be more my time, something like that. Easy on the Clintons. No, look, I love the Clintons. I think they're great. Totally think they're great. The Hitty Mac will make you jump. Right. Yeah, right, exactly. It was $13 an hour for $25,000, but it vanished. They talked about it. Now they're talking about a stimulus for everybody. There's several proposals. $2,000 a month for up to 22 months. They actually talked about that per adult. So $4,000. You're married, $4,000 a month, tax-free for as much as 22 months, depending how long the emergency goes, or a one-time $9,000 payment to adults. They're just talking about different things. They're supposed to decide it pretty soon, but there's nothing set in stone yet. Alexander, you had a state trooper compliment your cowboy hat even once. He said he didn't give me a parking ticket because he liked me. No, nice. Hey, however you can get out of the ticket, I say do it. Wearing my uniform backwards tomorrow in honor of crisscross. We could make it official crisscross day. Really, that would be pretty good. So who is anybody going to come to the trucking jamboree? Or am I going to be the only one there? Is anybody planning on it? It's outside. And Iowa is going to be open back up by then. July 9th to 11th. I don't know. Will anybody be there? Maybe. Arizona is going to also increase truck parking. So they're going to spend a couple of $1 million now. Not when everybody gripes about it, but now they're going to try to increase truck parking. So that's really good. Oh, and JB Hunt is now doing e-log bill of ladings. They're doing electronic bill of lading. So you don't need any paperwork. So through the JB Hunt 360 app and the JB Hunt app, they are doing electronic bill of ladings. And I tried to find, I don't know if that's legal. Maybe. I don't know if you have to have a paper copy of the logs or if they can do an electronic copy. It must be that they can do it or they probably wouldn't be doing it. So I'm not sure about that. I don't like that every lady cop who pulls me over looks super sexy in that uniform. Well, okay, Alexander's going to try to be there. Excuse you, Swift just pulled beside you. Oh, yeah, always go out and check. Trucker Hershey will bring your teal truck. Yeah, that'd be good. Bring some recruiting pamphlets from them. So yellow, $1.52 today is their stock, yellow freight. I love Roadrunner at $2.23. I think now if we could pull it together, I think we could pull enough money to buy the place. US Express, $3.97 today. Not bad. It's rebounding. USA Truck at $4.77. Not bad. And Pam, I also wrote Pam down, $35.01. Now, they were $40 a few days ago. So that's not great. Because I thought with Mercedes and Hyundai opening and other plants, like my brother-in-law said he goes back to work a week from today at Honda in Marysville, Ohio. I thought with those opening back up, that would boost Pam's stock up because they griped that a lot of their business was automotive. But they dropped $5 in just the last few days. That's not a great plan for them. Alexander's too fat to look sexy and anything, but also won't be pulling anybody over. Do get hit on. Fat chicks are in vogue. Hey, everybody, always in vogue. There's somebody for everyone. Google how far Truckers Jamboree is. Google. Oh, yeah, it's in July. How about that? But I don't know where you are, so I can't tell you. It's in Walcott, Iowa. So if that helps you, right on I-80 at the world's largest truck stop. So the dates are July 9th to 11th at the Truckers Jamboree at Walcott at the TA, which is, of course, the world's largest truck stop, and the truck stop with a dog wash. So I thought that was pretty good. The truck stop has its own self-service dog wash in it. If anybody hasn't been there, you should go. There's a museum there, which there's no charge. This thing is no charge. You don't even have to register for it. It's not been canceled yet, even though they canceled GATS, because this is outside. Wow, $1.52. Yellow tried to get a bailout from Obama. Yeah, I guess it didn't work out. And they're close. If they close, I mean, they have tons of drivers that will flood into the industry. If it gets worse, you'll have to move to my house. Yeah, plenty of room for everybody. You got to like cats, though. You have to like cats. Okay, so you still need a copy of the bill of ladings for the DOT. So do you think, well, how are you getting it? JB Hunt says that you don't need to go in and you won't have to do it. It's everything, including signatures, is done electronically. And I wondered, is that legal yet? Has the government caught up? They're not known to catch up to things. So has the government actually caught up to the fact of electronic? There's no reason you shouldn't be able to do it. But I didn't know if you were allowed to do it. Gail Banks of Banks Power wants to put his setup on a Duramax in a commercial truck. A lot less weight, same or better fuel economy. Like what size Duramax would he put in a... I'm thinking a semi, I guess. It doesn't have to be this big of a truck. It would work. Look, we used to have, 200 horsepower. Even me, right, and I haven't been driving that long compared to a lot of drivers, I had horsepower in the low 200s in the 80s. So This big 400-500 with thousands and thousands of torques now is way different just from then. So I can imagine a smaller engine would work. Darnell's clear. Swift did not hit him. That's pretty good. George Wilson, you look like you're Irish German. Yeah, I don't know what my heritage would be. No one really ever said. So the wife's Polish, if that helps, but that doesn't help me at all. Email your bill lading just like e-logs. That's what JB Hunt has said, that they're electronic and that the drivers don't have to have contact with anybody. So you don't have to go in anywhere. You don't have to go outside. Nothing. Okay, what do you think? I did this later in the week last week. What about this guy with this big tow bill? A lot of people griped about it. Okay, so he gets his truck towed out of the swamps and then $20,000 tow bill and steals his own truck back and goes to jail. Is that like a great idea or not? Yellow freight is a parasite that buys healthy companies and kills them. Well, that's not great, because what's happening is they're only $1.52. So as they buy troubled companies, they're absorbing that trouble, and they are not long for this world if they don't get something going here. Are you Polish too? Oh, so you enjoy a good pierogi. A prune pierogi, which I would say. If you can file your taxes with an e-signature, why not a bill lading? I agree, why not? But I don't know if the regulation allows that, or if you have to have a paper copy to hand to an officer. I'm not sure if they've caught up yet with a regulation. And if they haven't, some officer will certainly enforce that. The new Big Apple truck stop has a dog wash off I-44 in Joplin. I've not seen them at other places, but I do remember they've always had this thing here for the longest time. That at the fuel island, next to the fuel island, there's that wash, and there's a dog wash, a self-service dog wash. And I thought there's some drivers that could use a good spraying off in there. That they're walking around the main building, and I thought maybe they should go into the dog wash. I think they'd be better off going in there. That'd be better. Really be better for them. Really very leery about getting hit right now. I got hit 3 times during the month of January. How come why was January your month? Were they all Swift trucks too? Thought I was Irish in the 90s. Turns out I was just drunk. I've never even had a beer for everybody, so that maybe not Irish over here, I guess. My Cummins has a 400 and 1,000 torque. Right, plenty of power for airport and Home Depot runs as long as they pay $2 a mile. That's true. Some of these new truck engines, right, at 1,000 torque, that's not bad. Some of my hazmat loads have Alfie, but the scales need to see a copy. E-file. So if they need to see a copy, where are these JB Hunt drivers? Oh, maybe they could print one out in their truck. I guess they could have a printer. Make sure to wash your hands. Yeah, says the governor. And then Pence walks around at the plant right here, somewhere, right, with no mask on, even though he's telling everybody to wear a mask. And they say, oh, you can only travel for essential. And what is so essential about him showing up walking around? Nothing. They want it to be essential. No way. That one mayor, did you see that in Texas? She got busted for having her hair done. The salon opened for her. She had her hair done. Awesome. But hey, you all better stay home. That's why this is all a big scam, a garbage scam. I don't like any of it. And that you have to go black market your haircut is crazy. Your favorite truck stop was at the 265 in Atalissa, Iowa. That's further down the road. Our reefer freight had been off a bit, but still pretty good. I'm on my first 34-hour break. Wow, you need it. Al John, you drank all my beer. Yeah, I just never got into drinking, I guess. Just hard drugs, but not drinking. not really. I'm just saying, I just never did. I don't know. I just never did, I guess. Everyone is essential to someone, so no one should be shut down. Yeah, who are they to decide who's essential? It isn't for the government. Oh, you're essential, you're not. And really, if it was this way, it's the other way around. The non-essential people would be the ones out working to get sick while they keep all the essential people at home. That's what I tell everybody, oh, I'm essential. No, you're not. You're out working. The people that are essential are home. That's the ones they want to keep safe. I don't care about you, or that you would be at home. That's the way to do it. But everybody is essential. You got to have a job. So absolutely. You can't come to the manhole. There's a $10 cover. I've noticed in my ELD, there's nowhere to put what I'm shipping. to add it to my load information page. Really? Isn't there a spot? There is on the Geo tab, right? There should be a spot for what you're hauling or shipping number and all that. Absolutely. There's for Fleet Nav Systems. So, and don't forget about Jay, too. I would say Jay is on tomorrow at 9 p.m. live. He does a lot of shows at 1 p.m. also. He's also doing update shows at 1 p.m. nearly every day about the automotive industry and trucking that way. Believe me, those guys have really been hurt in automotive. Now they're just coming back to work. Haircuts are such a drag. You don't have that problem, right? When's the last haircut you had, Wild Bill? All are essential workers. Yeah, we're all essential. Who are they? What are they saying? That just pins people against each other, and that's not what the government's goal should be. That should be prompting you to put that info when you log in. Geotab does this. That's what I thought, right? And how far is is Walcott, Iowa to you? And will we see you in July? It's 4 hours from me. I have one of the rare PACCAR engines that hasn't had any problems. Almost made $400,000 without a tow. That's pretty good. A lot of people do write in with problems. I thought JB 360 was a load board for owner-operators and not their driver. It said that, the 360 and the JB Hunt app. That's what the thing said. That you'll be able to get your electronic bill of ladings right there. JB Hunt 360 or the JB Hunt app, which I assume is the app that their drivers use, that they have them download. That's how I figure it. When you used to drink, your favorite was cheap and keep them coming. Oh, not the good stuff like Schlitz. Now, if I have a beer, it'll be really spicy dark bill. Oh. Arbita Turbo Dog. Yikes. Oh, somebody's stepping up. I like Yingling Lager, but I'm really imbibe. Wow. That's super complicated even to say, much less drink. Sometimes I just stick my head in a barrel of Ham's beer. Oh, Ham's. I was told last week I had it Jufro again. Who would say that? Hopefully not anybody at work. What? And I don't even know. Actually, I try to keep up with slang. I don't even know what that is. Christine would like to go, but probably not. Well, I'll probably be there on Saturday. If anybody's coming out there, I'd love to say hello to everybody. You need a trim, but your last haircut was 3 years ago. You're going to have to go underground, like to Facebook Marketplace, and then do some kind of secret handshake and meet somebody to make sure that you're not being in a sting like they are in Texas. They actually had a sting for people on haircuts so that they sent the cops in to go get a haircut and were on a good sting to get them out of there. I love it. So munitions, I was reading about munitions, heavy haul and specialized. And flatbeds right now is the way to go. So if anybody is out of a job and thinking, I know what I'm supposed to do. Check into something that's still rolling. Oh, and Celadon. That's what I want. I just caught that just as the show started. Celadon is back in the news. I can't believe it. I'm like, Celadon? I thought they were dead. No. These people they're like buried in the pet cemetery. So they're going to sell their Mexican division. Remember, they were going to sell that to Pam. Pam was going to buy all this Mexican stuff for $7 million. That's what the article said. They're going to sell to White Willow Holdings now for $2.4 million. White Willow Holdings is the company that bought the Canadian Hindman division of Celadon. So it was $7 million 3 months ago. Now it's $2.4 million. And it's a holding company. So that's Jaguar Trucking in Mexico. A couple other trucking companies that they own there and a bunch of buildings and stuff. $2.4 million. So I love that. And expect to go broke under a holding company. That's how Celadon went broke. A holding company bought them. Work for JB Hunt. That app is slow but useful. But you got to put it on your phone for free. Yeah. I would, worst case, do they mandate you put it on the phone? That's number one. And number two, I would put it on a different device. I would not put it on my regular phone. Day is done is sitting at the Loves in Ritzville, Washington, Preacher Paul. What's going on out there? We'll be looking into the Truckers Jamboree and keep us posted. All right. Can your cover band do a version of Car Wash, switch to Dog Wash? Oh, yeah, we could do that, right? Rolls Royce. Everybody remembers them. That is so stupid. Once they get into the government, they get big heads. Yeah. You're going to waste the police time to do a haircut sting. They had police set up stings like on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. Have somebody agree to get the haircut. Go over there. When the haircut started, they arrested them and charged them. I mean, really? That's what we've come down to. How does that stop coronavirus? Have you heard of Bear Whiz Beer? No. Am I going to Walcott? Yes, and I hope to see you there on July 11th. That's the day I'm planning to be at the Truckers Jamboree. It's still going as of today. The truck show, it says, is still going. So it's July 9th to 11th at the world's largest truck stop. Over 900 parking places. Museum, and it's all outside. Pork chop, apparently it's a pork chop fest there. That's haircut entrapment. I don't understand it. We're there running Fleet Nav Systems. Great show. Catch us tomorrow on a live stream. We'd love the guys to call in. Yeah. Let's see there, Fleet Nav. So thank you for being here. Call in live on the call-in show on Tuesday at 3 p.m. over there. And I try to get on that show as well in the chat. It is a lot of fun. So with Geotab questions, and I do a lot of weird comments in the chat and everything. They'll probably ban me very soon. So you got a wrecking Express truck on the other side. You got a problem over there. You need to park in the corner of the truck stop. In the past week, you've seen 2 Celadon trailers. One had the decals. The other looked like a fresh trailer. Painted Celadon decals. Some people have bought them probably and didn't remove the decals, which they should. I wouldn't leave it on there, I don't think. I would at least add an E. Lucas, we'll catch on the flippity flop. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. 65 and sunny. That's not bad out there. Bear Whiz. Isn't that what people spray on themselves when they're hunting? I've seen that at these hunting places. You spray all that on yourself? I'm not sure. When hauling hazmat, you leave your truck, you have to leave your bill lading on the driver's seat. Yes, that's true. I didn't think about it that way. Guess you have to leave your phone on the seat. Oh, and with a note. Here's how you unlock the phone, and here's how you do this. That's an interesting. That'd be interesting. Maybe they give you those bill ladings in person. Cal Ellen keeps emailing me about a trailer. About being a trailer. Well, how could you do? What the heck? Was trying to figure out how to promote you from to admin. Oh yeah. Thanks, Fleet Nav. I appreciate it, and I'll try to have some clever comments in the chat if I can get on there tomorrow. So we'll see on that tomorrow. My barber has a shop at his home. It's a 1-chair speakeasy. Yeah, but you got to do the correct knock. You have to show the CFI phone holder to get in. I mean, there's got to be a way to do it. It doesn't make any sense. When you can't get a haircut, you have to wonder what is up with the country. 2 months ago, we could get a haircut. Now you can't even get a haircut? I mean, really? I'm going to have to start braiding what little hair I have. That doesn't make any sense to me. Well, I had one of these, let's see, what does the cat think about that? The cat, she doesn't need a haircut, I guess. She doesn't have to worry about getting her haircut or anything. Just getting fed, which I was at Meijer yesterday again because I can't get a spot on Shipt. So I was out there at Meijer getting all of her food and everything. And basically, a number of people wrote to me about food shortages, but I'm not seeing that. In the stores here or anything, I'm not seeing any food shortages. Meijer was full of food. There was no restrictions on buying other than toilet paper. They had 2 restriction on that, but everything else was in there. So I don't know. Tyson created this problem just to boost their own product price. They're like, oh, we're going to have a food shortage, and suddenly everybody went out and bought everything, and so that their prices would go up at that place. That's how they were doing. That's exactly what happened. They create a problem. Don't give everybody sick days. Make everybody come to work, and then now everybody there is sick. The one in Logansport had like 140 cases in one building. And so now everybody's sick, and it's harder to get the stuff. And so the price of it goes up. Kind of like the government. They create the problem, and then they have the solution for you. Because hair salons aren't as sterile as Walmart. Right. That comb floats around that blue stuff for 3 days. That stuff's got to be sterile. They won't let him open his store. He should open it anyway. These bigger stores and restaurants, they ought to just open anyway. Open anyway. All the churches, a lot of churches in Illinois opened yesterday. Okay, and no cops, nobody got arrested. Why? Because you can't stop people from going to church. That's why they didn't get arrested. So just open your stores back up, please. I will come in and buy things if you open your store. All clear. Today must be your lucky day. You need to buy a lottery ticket. Right. Both sides of you. Now you're good for a while until they leave and their tandems are slid all the way up and they take that tight corner out of there. People think they have food shortage and need to shop somewhere besides Walmart. Yeah, I don't, as I always say, right, I go to Meijer, but here doesn't seem to be a problem. The food supply shortage is in the supply chain. The stock in warehouses is declining. It will be a couple weeks if it hits retail. It can't. Well, Matt, the problem is I'm getting letters from drivers saying they're going places and being turned away because the warehouse is full, especially Walmart's. So they've ordered so much that the place is packed full of food. That's what I'm hearing from drivers saying. So it's a made up shortage. They put that out there to make people go buy stuff and raise how much money they're making. Your daughter went to cosmetology school. The regulations are insane. Yeah, well, it shouldn't be that way. And now she can't even work. Shop local and you find a lot more food. Well, Meijer, I guess it's a big box store, but I'm right here in town. I'm not in a big town, though, so maybe that's the problem. Alexandra, atheist, but no, it's illegal to keep from gathering for religious reasons. Government needs to leave people alone. The First Amendment is very clear. You can't prohibit people from practicing their religion, period. Okay, so it doesn't say unless there's a virus, unless moon spots. It doesn't say anything. So if you want to, they can't override that without some kind of amendment. So in Illinois, they opened up and everybody went back to church, the way it's supposed to be. Same with the drivers protesting in Washington, D.C. You're allowed to peaceably assemble and petition your government for redress of grievance. So nobody was arrested. Exactly. Go out and live your life still. I can pay to have my lawn mowed, but I can't get a haircut. That's correct. But the lawn mowing guy could cut your hair if you laid out in the lawn. I got a haircut 2 weeks ago. In and Out Express, I just tell them Marines when they ask how I want my haircut. Marines, where'd you get a haircut at 2 weeks ago, though? What is open 2 weeks ago? Local and regional chain groceries seem to be well stocked. Yeah, Meijer I didn't have any problems. Because I thought about that too. I go, oh, meat or whatever. No, all the meat, everything was full. There wasn't any signs like only 2 per person or anything. The milk, eggs, everything all filled up. So chicken, turkeys, everything all filled. Lamb, whatever all they got in there. You're sweating bullets. I don't know where you can get a haircut 2 weeks ago. Everybody was all freaked out like, oh, we can't even give haircuts. I guess in the next 2 weeks, all that's going to be open here in Indiana, but you'll have to make an appointment. So that might be a thing to do at Haircut Corner. I always wished I could have made an appointment because you go in there. I went in there once and there were like 4 women and each one had like 3 kids with them. And I thought, number one, this is a barber shop. This is not Great Clips or whatever. This is a men's barber shop. So you should be just men in there. I thought, well, we can all be manly. But then I thought, how long I got to wait for all these kids to get a haircut? So I left. But and I thought, wow, I wish I could make an appointment here for this kind of stuff. Now they're going to mandate it. Stores always have less food after the first of the month. They have the food stamp run. Oh, well, but I was there yesterday. Sundays, when I'm out filling up the car or whatever, I go shopping too at Meijer. I'm already at Meijer. And it was full. So, and I got to use all my food stamps there, so it's pretty good. And all the ones I bought from people for 50 cents on the dollar. Went to CNS Wholesalers, PA looking for empty trailer. There wasn't. All full, there's no shortage. Yeah, everybody's writing me that they're getting turned away. They have to wait for their appointment. There doesn't seem to be a food problem. I think it's manufactured. Oh, they manufactured the problem. Put it out there in the news. News will spread anything. They don't care what it is. Doesn't have to be accurate in any way on both sides. Right? So it doesn't make any difference. And now everybody's like, I better go to the store and buy all the meat. I delivered to the Meijer in Lafayette on Wednesday. But really? You should have come over. Let me know. I can come out there. I know that's why America is a secular nation. I don't care if folks worship. That's their belief. It doesn't affect you, Alexander. Exactly. I always support everybody's right to do, those kind of things. Whatever church you want to go to, it's constitutionally guaranteed that you get to go to church. They don't get to just say you can't go to church. You can't gather 10 people. It's not allowed. It isn't allowed. They don't get to do that. Once we allow them to do that, you don't have a constitution. I have to support everybody's right to gather, no matter if I agree with them or not. Just like the drivers protesting. I really don't agree with their protest, but they absolutely have a right to go down and protest at the White House. Governors go yell at them all they want. Totally. Just not 10 miles an hour on the highway is another story. Protest, I'm in. I love it. Nowhere I won't be getting a haircut in front of you, causing you to wait. I appreciate that. There were plenty of kids holding me up. Believe me. Been getting haircuts. My barber comes in with gloves and masks and Tyvek suit. Wow. I wish I could get somebody to do that. My father-in-law was in a barbershop added to the rear of his house. If you want a haircut, I got to do is walk across the street. Is he still in violation? Probably. Maybe if you don't pay him. Yeah, they're creating their own demand by putting out this narrative that there's a problem with the supply of food when there isn't. People have been in their house, I guess, maybe eating all their food up, so maybe they're needing more food. Bear Wiz had a vending machine at the manhole. Yes, that's true. That is true. I've been to church in a decade, only been for funerals, Alexander. Well, but still, people still have a right to go, right? So no matter which one it is, I don't care. You have a right to go. The government doesn't get to say you don't get to go to church, a constitutionally guaranteed right. It's already your right. Remember that. It's just guaranteed in the Constitution, and the Constitution holds Congress from not changing it. And the 10th Amendment gives you the states and rights to you, right? Those rights to the states and to you that aren't already enumerated, but it is. So the state doesn't get to say, oh, well, we're going to overtake this because it's enumerated already in the Constitution. So there you go. That's Constitution Monday. Masks may have some value. Wearing gloves is stupid. Wearing gloves is ridiculous. People touch everything and leave the same gloves on. You might as well use your hands. I'm a tractor trailer on fire at this point. I-70 West in Warren, Missouri. And there's a jackknife trailer just before the fire. Truck and trailer on fire. That's a disaster. I will say in the wife's car, the Escape, we have a bottle of alcohol, straight alcohol, 91%, in there to clean your hands off with when you go outside. That's what we use. But other than that, no. And it's not mandated by the government. So I don't mind things that are recommended, and then you get to decide. It's once the government starts mandating things, that's a real problem. It's a real problem. I just started going back and COVID-19 hit. Yeah, exactly. And now murder hornets are here. That's what they were called in the news. You and your father-in-law worked out an agreement. I go to the store for them when I'm home. Free haircuts till the situation over. That's totally fair. They want to stay home. They can have you do it. Look, no problem. But it should be their decision to stay home, not the government mandating no one gets out of their house. Eddie, I believe the food issue is in the processing. Not enough workers to process animals in Maryland. They just killed 400,000 chickens. Nobody to process chickens. They were getting too big. So what do they do with all the chickens? Just murder them? That's horrible. Why can't they? I guess you can't process them. That's terrible. Homemade masks stop the coronavirus has the same effect as your underwear stopping a smell. People are making masks out of shirts. So this goober, who's been wearing a shirt for 3 weeks in every buffet, now cuts a mask out of this shirt and wears it in the store like that does anything? It doesn't do anything. Believe me. That doesn't do anything. I'm not a scientist, but neither's Bill Nye, and people listen to him. I never got my weekly notification about the show start. Hello from Portland. What company do you work for? Thank you, RG Utah, as we wrap up. But yeah, the notifications in that's a YouTube thing. I don't know what to say about that. I protest every day when my wife comes back home from essential work. Yeah, but is she? Or are you the one that's essential if you're staying home? That's the thing. Chicken murders. I know seems like kind of a waste. Couldn't they have sent them to, had food banks or something pick them up? And there's got to be people that would process them for a food bank. To just get rid of food it seems like a huge waste. There are people that could use that food, especially now. People out of work. That seems like a terrible waste. I hate seeing Rex. You drive 50, but only 200 miles, 40, but only 200 miles. I saw a car parked up on the divider, the 55 bridge in Memphis, like a crane put it there. How do people get in the weirdest spots, right, when all this stuff happens? Don't forget, if you're wearing it, to make it a parrot, right? I forgot to say anything about blue parrot, but we also want to wear our blue parrots. Don't ever hold your phone. I still see people doing that. I mean, that shouldn't be a thing in the industry. And because I have to head out, but I want to thank GP Transco for being here too today and getting us some questions and good information. I appreciate it. If you need a job where you'd like to be treated like a professional rather than like a piece of meat, okay, GP Transco will be the place to go. They're hiring and they're keeping their drivers rolling. Don't forget about Jay. I forget about him sometimes to mention him, but Jay's live on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Okay, it's talking about car shipping, car hauling. And that's a part of the industry that I don't know that much about, like hardly anything. And Fleet Nav Systems is live on Tuesdays and Fridays at 3 p.m. right here on YouTube. They will take calls on Tuesdays. You should be there and call them with all of your Geotab questions. They would like to hear from you. Thank you for being here. Also, Fleet Nav Systems. So, if they can't process the chickens, donate them to homeless shelters. I know a lot of homeless people are vets, are hungry, and they need to get the deduction. I don't understand why they didn't donate them. Call around and say, can somebody process these? We'll give them to you for nothing. There's no reason for people to go hungry when all these chickens are being literally murdered. It's just chicken murder. I don't like it. I just don't like it. Preacher Paul, thank you very much. It's good to see you. Blue Parrot is the best. I have a 350. I hope that you'll get one. GP Transco. Oh, right. If you like being an end user, GP Transco is not for you. Okay. Be treated like a professional, like you should be. George Wilson, catch on the flip-flop. Hammer down on 65 always. There's nobody else out. Safe travels. Good to see you, Rhino. Great show. Thanks for giving us a place to get together and BS. Well, thank you all for coming here. You know, I don't see that enough, but when the number is more than 0, right, it always amazes me. It really does that anybody comes, and I appreciate everybody being here. Believe me, I do. Thanks, Wild Bill, for being here. Eddie McFadden, thank you for coming in. Alexandra, thank you for being here today. Christina, I appreciate you coming in today. RG Utah, late, but never too late. I appreciate it. MG Jackson, thanks for being in. Kenneth Snyder was here today. Fleet Nav Systems was first this week, but Wild Bill was first on the show last week, and let's see, Rhino was first today, so I'd like to get that out there. Daniel, thanks for being here today, so I have to go back a little bit, and I'll probably lose my place again. Scared of Bigfoot was here, and because he's so out of focus, that's the thing. Thanks for coming in. I don't like out of focus monsters. I just don't like them. So James Faust, thank you for coming in today. I appreciate everybody coming in here today. That I just can't believe anybody comes in. UFOs, no joke, and that is true. Believe me, that is true. Chris 76, thank you for coming in. And I have to head on out to do some work because the company likes to make money. I'm going to ask them what they make. What do you guys make? Before I leave today, I demand to know what you make on this. Oh, no, I won't be asking them that because I don't need to know that. Texas Trader, thank you for being here. And will be more videos, of course, this week as always. And I appreciate everybody coming in. Headed out on the road. Be safe out there today. Rates, freight, everything going up 6% this week. It's coming back. America is coming back. We'll see you on the next one.